But they would have moved right past that, the correct combination. I'm going to have to try and reel it again.
You wouldn't see it for
as
sure.
well.
Yeah. Awesome. I think the teams are busy getting ready now, as far as I know.
Yeah, they're busy finalizing the prep, loading the next team members on. We're going into halfway through the group stages already.
Oh wow, already?
Yeah.
That's quite quick actually.
Yeah, we're halfway through the group stages. Very soon we get to see who enters the knockout stages. So the knockout stages are going to be quite a spectacle because, that's your normal tournament structure. You lose, you're unfortunately out.
That is
so the group stages are they're essentially your trials, preliminaries, trying to get into the knockout stages. So during the intermission, we'll be sharing the top 8 teams that have gone through to the knockout stages as well. And then we can watch each team try and force their way to victory at the end of the day.
I'm actually very excited to see the next map that they're going to be playing. I know this first one has been an absolute a joy watching it, but the second one I'm very excited for as well. I think it's going to bring a very new aspect to everything. It's going to be very exciting for the players.
Yeah, I think we've got some fantastic stuff coming up. I actually just want to double check because maybe we can at least share the names of the worlds that are upcoming. A little bit of a teaser, cool. As an idea for what's coming up. So the first world that we'll be seeing in the knockout stages is the Egyptian dunes, and I mean that your mind can run rampant with that one.
Egyptian
as
dunes.
well. Egyptian dunes. My first assumption is that there's got to be a pyramid somewhere.
There has to be, and a lot of sand. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense.
A lot of sand and fairly dry.
Fairly dry.
Fairly dry.
Okay.
And then the final one is the Nordics Raid.
The Nordics Raid.
That's quite a thing.
Oh.
Quite a name.
Well, they're following the wouldn't say mythical topics, but they're actually all in line with that. That's actually quite nice.
So they're all subtly associated to your different mythologies that's running around as well. I know that background was given through to the students.
We might see Thor. We might see Thor with lightning as well.
Options are endless.
Who did it better, Zeus or Thor?
Who shot the best lightning?
Yes.
But I mean, we've got we might see Anubis.
Oh, in the Egyptian dunes. Yeah. We might
see what games he can play around with the students.
Mind games. Yeah.
Mind games.
I know
the trickery that's going on.
Yeah, I know the pyramids are generally quite mazy, if you will, within themselves. So we might be seeing a couple of mazes in the Egyptian dunes as well. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah, and to my understanding, we'll be seeing fairly similar but very different challenges as well. And that's quite an interesting statement to be given going into these ones. Is you'll face similar challenges, but they'll be different.
They'll be different completely. So we've been told. So we're just as excited as you are to see the new worlds and the players run through them. I think we're still having some difficulty with the players. They're coming into the worlds. It's just
trying to get them to actually stay in the worlds. I think it's the excitement of it all.
I think they aren't too excited. Yeah.
They really just want to get running, quite literally, moving through the worlds. And I think it's creating a little bit of a nightmare for the world handlers at the moment.
Yes, of course. Now they're going to have their hands full for sure.
But we've got phase and winning wizards coming up shortly as well. So we're just going to see how long it takes for the students just to get in. We have just been notified that they are struggling to get one or two of the students to remain in the world. But I mean, it's bound to happen throughout it all. As I said, I really think it's the excitement. They're kind of getting ahead of themselves before any of the world handlers are in place.
Oh, it's the same. I mean, you don't have a lot of time, especially with the speed run, but sometimes you just have to slow down the excitement and not struggle so much with the combination code. Yeah, just take your time, get through it.
Gonna have to think it through.
For sure.
It's quite a challenge that they've got, because there's certain areas that they are going to have to slow it down completely and think it through. But at the same time, you've got this.
The clock is
This,
ticking.
yeah,
The clock is ticking. You gotta
coming
run.
the whole way, so it makes it very difficult. That's what I'm saying. It's very under the pressure moment. So even for the participating teams that have had a possibility to have a sneak view at what's going on, that's going to change completely once they get into the world.
Yeah. So all of the answers and combinations are randomized with each new map where the teams are competing. So even if they did watch the stream, as you've mentioned, they won't be able to see answers to their advantage at all.
Yeah. So there would be nothing
Clueless.
going on. But it's I think the speed runs quite something because they can actually see how far the other team's getting.
That's true. That's true. They can see that.
I feel like that adds the pressure to it because if you can see the other team and you are neck and neck, it really
I think
makes you want to
there
push
is a
it
slight
through.
delay in the stream for that at least. So I don't think that would be a problem there. But yeah, I mean they can still see that if the stream is still struggling 10 seconds after them, they might even see the other team being at the next stage further than them.
But I mean, in the Olympus trials that we've got here, you can actually view across the hole in the middle of the lanes
Yeah,
and see
you can
where
see
your other
everything.
team's currently running through as well. So we've got the students loading in and getting very ready for the challenges that's coming through. As you can see, we've got a completely floating island
Yeah, it's actually
that's
quite
running
nice
through
to see.
here
Yeah.
as well. Get a bit of a tour, a guide
Yes, it
tour
looks
of
like
the
we are
whole
getting a nice tour of the
whole
challenges.
thing as well, which is fantastic. I mean, there's a whole bunch of challenges that you don't get to see because the students move through it so
They
quickly.
are quick. Some of them really do
It's
move through
really,
it.
really impressive to see because I mean, there's some very finite detail that's coming in here. You know, smaller challenges that play into it that you don't get to see because they just steamroll right over it.
But they're focused. They're focused on the challenge. I don't think if you'd asked them what color was Zeus's robe, they wouldn't.
They
be
wouldn't
able
tell
to
you.
tell you.
I don't think they've looked anywhere but what's directly in front of them
On the path. Yeah, for sure. That is
as
true.
well.
I think there is so much. Yeah, but I do agree with you. Like, there's so much effort going into building these worlds. As a creator, you'd want people to appreciate the scenery as well. But I think at the end of the day, it just adds to the feel and the environment to the challenge. You're not just running through a dull, pathway.
Yeah.
You're actually running through something that's quite pleasant.
Yeah.
It feels great. It feels good.
Yeah. But it was very nice to actually have that slight panoramic shot of it because you can see the extra detail that's in there. And I'm sure the students do it, like even if it's subconsciously, they notice that it's there.
They see it.
Yeah. They notice and it makes a difference. So the beautiful worlds that we've got put forward here as well. And I'm really interested to see what's going to happen, what the dunes would look like, the Egyptian dunes. Because that one, there's a lot of ideas that I've got running through.
Mummies in there as well.
With Minecraft, anything can happen.
Anything is possible with
Anything
Minecraft.
is possible. There's
Yeah.
your creativity is your limit at this point in time. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen that's been on the worlds that I would never have thought of putting together as well. You know, like the slime trampoline.
The slime trampoline, yes.
That must have been a lot of fun to set up in the beginning and trial
And to
run.
build, yes, I can believe that.
I think next time I'd like to be a fly on the wall.
A fly on the okay.
A fly on the wall whilst the developers are putting it together and see some of the challenges that they've got putting it.
But I think it's also actually very, as a commentator to be on the surprising end of it is also quite nice sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Being very secretive about everything, haven't they? I mean, as we said, we're all seeing most of the stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
The only leaked information we have is what the prizes are, which I do think are going to be fantastic, which we'll obviously be sharing in the award ceremony at the end. So please don't leave the stream too soon. So yeah, keen to see how it goes. We have just been notified that we've got the next round ready and that we're moving over. And this again is FaZe versus the winning Wizards. And the gates are open.
Perfect. There we go. I see all of them jumping, trying
Yeah.
to get the speed.
Very cool to see how they take the approach.
Oh,
And we've had lightning
They have
hit
been
them
Zeused.
already.
And they've
See
been
how it
Zeused
goes
again.
Oh, and okay, at least they've opened it. At
They
least
got
they've
through.
gotten through, which is
Yeah. So
fantastic. to see.
what these players don't realize is that every wrong answer has a consequence. Not necessarily only the lightning, but it hinders their challenges at
Yeah.
the end. So it adds or removes blocks or obstacles at the end stages,
Yeah.
which makes it increasingly more difficult for them. So they have to pay careful attention to the questions and which answers they select as well.
So I mean, we can see here we've got the wizards stuck at the parkour as well, and
We've
now
got
we
a
can go
player
and have
already
a look
on
at.
phase.
And just like
Look at
that,
that.
phase, they're living up to the name currently.
They are doing
They are
surprisingly
moving
well.
quite fast through it. But now we're going to have to see what they can do with the second challenge coming through.
The combination.
The combination locks.
That's
And
really
that's
nice.
where the blockbusters got stopped earlier as well. And I mean, they sped through it all.
Let's see if they can pull the right lever for the right answer.
I mean, as you can see, each team faces a completely different challenge. I mean, the combination locks are different that's coming through there. And we've...
2 wrong questions.
We've
One
been-
was right. Wrong answers. Apologies. Well, they're moving through. They actually.
are getting through.
They
And
do
now they're
quite
onto
well.
the combination lock. So let's see how they...
Oh!
Whoa,
one
we had
just slipped
one through.
Wow.
There we go. No, they were so close, and they've reeled it too far again. It's quite interesting. You can, if I'm not wrong, you can only turn the combination in clockwise.
You can only turn in one direction.
So once you miss it, you've missed it. You're gonna have to go all the way around again.
This is quite interesting. They got it right, and one of the players actually went through, and now they're struggling to get the rest.
And now we've just been told that the wizards are ahead currently.
Let's see if they can crack the code.
Yeah. Well, let's go and have a look, see where FaZe is at. FaZe is stuck.
Is FaZe on the left hand? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
No,
FaZe.
so
Okay.
this is FaZe. We are currently watching FaZe, and almost there. They just
We've
need
got
to
one player
finalize
through.
it.
Come on. So close.
Get it out
There
in
we
a
go.
full
There we go.
Minecraft Nike
That's
skin.
a nice hoodie. That's a very
A
nice hoodie. And the
full-
bridge has been opened for the team.
And
They
he's
can
wasting
continue.
wasting absolutely no
No
time
time. Running.
in moving forward,
sprinting
and
through it.
opened it up already for the team.
That's awesome. We've got a front runner. It is
Yeah.
important to do these challenges with the team, as you cannot do the slime jump or the jelly jump without your
Yeah.
team members. So you have to bring them with you.
So you're going to have to pay a lot of attention to how your teams do. You can't just leave them behind. But it seems that they're all together again at the end.
Oh dear, it looks like the player is struggling to swim there a little bit. We
But
do have a team
the
leader.
front runner or the team leader
do have a
is
team leader
moving
going.
ahead for FaZe. And let's go and have a look, see where the wizards are.
So it looks
They've
like-
moved on to the slime trampoline at the moment.
Yeah, it does look like one or two of them are still stuck within the combination, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I think they just allowed for them to sneak past. There we
Oh,
go,
they've
there we
got
go.
it.
So
The
they've
doors
opened
are
it now,
open.
there we go.
Perfect.
So now we've got the full team complement on the outside
Awesome.
as well.
The-
Coming very close to it, but they need to,
They're gonna have to time that perfectly
yeah.
to get that jump done.
Well, I mean, we've seen the previous teams all struggle with this. I don't think there's been a team that's just done it the first time so far.
We've had some teams moving through it very quickly. Over here we can see FaZe is still struggling with the combination. They're gonna have to figure it out very quickly to be able to catch up with the other team.
Yeah, the Wizards are getting quite a bit of a lead upon FaZe.
They are. They're getting a
We're
lot
going
of
to have
time
to
to
see.
troubleshoot
If
and
they can.
actually do the team challenge. And they've actually gone through. They've done it. They're on to the final challenge.
So
Wow.
let's see how the Wizards move forward.
Oh, they're going up now currently.
So let's see. Phase is now onto the jelly. You see, they're trying to jump it without the trampoline
They're
at the
gonna
moment.
have to press the switches.
There we are.
They're gonna have to help each other to get across.
And the Wizards look like they're coming up right
The
to
Wizards
the
are
end.
very, very close to the end. It looks like they're gonna take the win, and the Wizards are
the winning
winners.
team is the Wizards. So we're just going to let the Phase team finish as well, so we can clock in their time.
Brilliant.
Seems like the Wizards finished in 5:06.
The winning
5 minutes
Wizards.
and 6 seconds, which
Yeah.
isn't too bad.
That is
I mean, it's
very,
half
that's
of
very
the allotted time that's been given
good. That is
as a
correct.
maximum. So let's see if FaZe can just get past
The team challenge.
the team challenge.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to press all the the buttons to actually see what they do first of all, and then they're gonna have to figure out how to use them in combination to get
Yeah.
through the challenge.
To get to where they need to be. You can see it's unfortunately that very individual focus that they've got going.
That is true. We can see that.
Oh.
Close.
Very close.
At this stage, they're just launching each other into the air.
And I think part of the problem is because you've got so many of them up in the air at the same time, they start hitting and colliding with one another.
I don't think they realized the button at the top. Oh, one of them just realized it. There we go. I think he cracked the code.
Here we go.
Close. They're gonna have to work together to get this one.
But you can clearly see how much teamwork there actually needs to be to get through this as well.
They do need to work together. I see one of them has fallen off, unfortunately. So we're just
One of the world admins will bring them back,
they bought back.
fairly shortly as well. Save them from their fall. There we go.
There's the admin now.
Bringing them right
So
back.
it's quite interesting. One of the players is actually just spamming the button at the bottom, just continuously bringing the slime up, which is very interesting.
So there's no timing on what's happening for the launch.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, the button at the top is being spammed as well. If they're lucky, they might get it at the right time.
Yeah, but I mean, as we're seeing currently, FaZe is going to start running out of time.
They are, unfortunately.
They're currently hitting it at 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, we've won through. There we go.
There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see if they
Made it.
can finalize the last stage and hopefully get themselves a decent spot
For
to
sure.
move forward as well.
So yeah, they were struggling. That cost them a lot of time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can still knock off a few seconds with the last challenge.
Well, I mean, they did very well with the normal movement stuff that we saw in the beginning of this challenge or this map.
We should also have a team leader here just running ahead. I think that might come in a disadvantage
Later on.
in some of the maps, as you do have a very strong player, but teamwork does make the dream work, and unfortunately, this might have been, costing them a lot of seconds in this round, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, they at least completed at a time of 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
Perfect.
So under the maximum time that they've got, so they did complete it. So there's a possibility with this round and the following one, that the second round robin within the group stages, that they might have a good position at the end of the day as well. So that closes halfway through the group stages.
Oh wow. And went, like I said, they went quite quick actually.
Yeah.
But the teams are doing great. I'm gonna say, like, none of them have run out of time yet. They all are within the time brackets, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is still brilliant to see. At the end of the day, it just comes down, to those power teams getting the 5 minutes, marks. It's
Because
brilliant.
those were some impressive times. Those 5 minute time slots are
very
very
nice.
quick. I'd love to be able to give these worlds a run myself a bit later on. See if,
What'd you rate
if I can do. Honestly, watching the parkour will catch me. I'm not going to lie. Parkour is not not my strongest Minecraft suit.
Yeah, we might run out of time.
I think I might just undercut it. I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt.
benefit of
I'll
the doubt.
just get under it, but nowhere near the
5
time
minutes is
that
very
they've
impressive.
gotten. That was fast.
For sure.
That was fast as well. So we're going to be moving on to the next round. So from here on onwards, it's when each team will be playing their second game. So now they've all gone through the world. They already have an idea on the layout. Obviously, the challenges change as the worlds go. You know, so it's not the same combination locks. It's not the same answers to the questions, stuff like that. But they at least now know, okay, there's a parkour section coming up. You've got some puzzles that you need to get through, and that slime trampoline, I have a feeling, is going to come in a little bit later on. But they might be a lot quicker because they know now relatively what needs to happen.
They know what needs to happen. Yeah. So this is where it comes down to whether being lucky in the first round. I mean, are you going to be lucky again? Or did they generally, learn from that and are able to use that in their advantage to complete it at an even better time?
Yeah, so I'm really eager to see what the time's going to come to. We might actually have under 5 minutes.
We might.
You know, that would be quite the time.
I'm expecting it from the Blockbusters, as they had a really excellent run. I think it might have been the best time we've seen so far. From the Blockbusters, so I do think we do have a power team there.
But I mean, the Axolots weren't bad either. I mean, they kept up for half of the game.
They did really
half
well.
of the round with the Blockbusters. It was really just the combination lock that stumped them.
It came down to that.
At the end of the day. But I mean, we had Ivercraft and the Enderman. They also weren't bad times. Both of them did get stumped, however, with the parkour. So hopefully they assign someone that can just go and run it and get them through, because I mean that would really help them with the rest of the time, because they didn't struggle too much with your combination locks and stuff like that. It was the parkouring.
It was the parkour.
It was the endless falling that really
the
got them.
frustrating falling. Yeah, I believe we're actually seeing the Blockbusters now going head to head with the Perfect Jinx. Is it? Yeah.
Perfect Jinx?
Yeah, I think that is the next team's going now, up against each other.
I'm really eager to see how the Blockbusters are able to take that last round.
It's a very strong team
as well.
A very strong
and
team.
I mean, we're now going to start seeing teams that have been playing in the second round stream. You know, that's that second avenue. So it's someone that we haven't seen. So we might have an upset that's coming through.
We haven't seen their times. We haven't seen how they are doing with the parkour, the team challenges. So they might be,
coming in and just stealing the show,
just destroying everyone else. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of insight that we'll get during the intermission. You know, being able to see what the times of the different teams were, and obviously being able to share that with you guys as well. You know, how well did they actually do overall and collectively? You know, what was their combined time between the rounds? That would be quite a piece of information to have, because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to have a team that clocked both of the rounds together in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be we're going to see that.
Be able to finish the map twice within the time limit.
Yeah, twice. That is a possibility. Yeah, maybe even less. You never know. I mean, it really comes down to those key players, and what we've seen before is that those key players shouldn't be, just kind of running ahead, but rather helping the team get across as well, because you're going to need your team, and if you're going to have to wait for your team, especially with the team challenge.
Well, I mean, we saw that with FaZe now, quite clearly. You know, they had their key player, their lead player, did very well with the parkour.
It was a very powerful run.
But he tended to leave
his team behind quite often. Yeah,
as well, which I mean came to the detriment at the end. Especially when they faced the slime trampoline.
They did lose a lot of time there, unfortunately. I think if they just kind of took a second just to figure it out, and take the timing, they would have probably taken the win as well, because they were pretty head to head at most of the time.
Part of the running as well. So I'm very excited to see what the Perfect Jinx is going to bring out. I mean, we obviously know we've seen the Blockbusters currently. Maybe they pull out Jinx and upset the whole scenario, and they take the win over the blockbusters.
It's always a possibility. Yeah.
A quick undercut.
Quick.
A
Yeah.
quick undercut as well. And then we'll have another 2 rounds and then straight into intermission and the knockout stages. So it's actually
Exciting
moving quite quickly through it.
Regardless of our technical difficulties earlier.
The dropping of the power. Dropping of the power. It's times like these that you really appreciate a generator.
No, for sure. I think so. Do you have a generator?
I don't, unfortunately not. So
So we both left in the dark.
when they decide it's bedtime, it's bedtime. You know.
Yeah.
When that electricity goes off at 8 o'clock, everything's down.
It's funny. We've been used to this. We don't buy generators.
Yeah, it's quite.
When we think we do that.
But I actually should. It should be something that we should get.
It's something that
carry on.
everyone needs it. Just like you need a strong key player in your team.
You need a generator in South Africa.
Yes, for sure. Awesome. I think the next teams are getting ready, if I'm not mistaken. So we're just going to be waiting for that.
Yeah. So we've just been notified that Perfect Jinx and Blockbusters are currently loading into their worlds to give it another run.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So both the teams have done the round.
They know it.
Time?
There's no one team that has experienced it and one that hasn't. Both are going to run out of that gate at a pace.
It's also dangerous. I mean, we've seen with being too hasty can really be your downfall in this particular challenge. So it's important to be hasty, but still take your time.
Yeah, reel it back in. Don't let the excitement overtake the scenario. But we'll see if they actually adapt to that as the tournament goes, because I mean we've only seen the first world currently.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, they might have to really reel that in more now as well. So another beautiful panoramic view of Olympus itself.
There's our wonderful parkour session.
That's really been keeping them busy as well.
Sure.
But you can clearly see why it's so difficult for them. I mean, there's not a lot of options for them, and what they have to get to, they have to do it very.
It's designed specifically, so there are certain, amounts of blocks that a player can jump at one time, and it's really met. So it is important for the players to really time their jumps. It looks like our observer appears to be showing us the very famous combination section there for a second.
That without doubt has stumped
been
the teams.
A big challenge.
We did see 1 or 2 teams that were able to kind of figure it out a lot quicker than the rest, but I don't think there's a team that kind of got it off of the bat as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, we still have a couple of teams more to see, and maybe now the second time around we might see them flying through it. I mean, they know what to expect. It's now just remembering your past mistakes, essentially, and just going for it.
Well, we're going to be loading in very soon, watching Perfect Jinx versus Blockbusters, seeing how they take this second round.
It's going to be great.
Of theirs up.
This is how legends are made, you know that, right?
Yeah.
This is how legends are made.
Should have the song playing in the background as well.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Now it's stuck in my head. Thanks.
Only a pleasure. You will be playing it later to try and get rid of it. It's the best way.
Most certainly is.
I feel like it will be played during the intermission period as well.
Can we organise that? No.
I think we can. I think we can find it. I don't think that'll be a problem at all.
Yeah. But yeah, the best teams are going to come at the top, and they're going to compete head to head at the end of the day.
Here we go. And now we've got the Perfect Jinx on the screen. We're going to see them running out of the gates any second now. And there we go.
the gates are open. I see all of them as a
Perfect
very
Jinx.
interesting jumping technique to their running.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
they're trying to gain more space.
So this actually does. They got it right
First time.
but they do have a bit of a memory of the map, so they're all just flying through.
But this is, oh,
This is very
wow, the
impressive.
perfect
There you
Jinx
go.
are flying
They definitely
through
took notes.
as well. It would be interesting to see how the blockbusters are facing their second
That would
challenge
be
though.
interesting as well.
Oh,
having a
and
bit
they're
of a
getting
hard
stuck,
time
but they steamrolled through
the first time.
the first
for sure.
hardcore set as well. So it clearly goes to show that you have to be on point every time
Mhm.
as well.
And were they lucky or not? What was the
No. Well, I mean, Perfect Jinx is really
steamrolling it?
yeah.
Really
They've come to play, and now they've got somewhat of an idea of this. Let's see if they can. Maybe they've forgotten about the buttons again.
about the buttons. Yes.
As well, I think the pressure to try and get a good second time to secure that knockout stage position is starting
It could get to you.
to play
It could get to you.
play a role
You
as
can
well.
see we do have one player at the top timing the button for them, so the teamwork is there.
But they're not doing the launch.
That is
The
also
launch
important
isn't there.
part.
There we go. They've remembered the launch.
Oh, and we've got the
And
blockbusters.
the blockbusters are coming on. They've just
Perfect.
gotten through the parkour section as well onto the combination locks again.
Yes, and before they get to that, they just have to pull the right lever to continue.
Otherwise, yep, there we go. Zeus is going to have a
Hit.
bit of a time with you.
Oh, that was quite a nice dive that the player had into that pool, actually.
Quite majestic
Very, very
as well.
stylish,
Very clean.
might I add.
Oh, Perfect
the-
Jinx seems to be stumped at the
they're
moment
cutting it so
with
close.
the slime.
Onto the combination lock for blockbusters.
But it doesn't look like there's much thought going into it. Maybe they're just thinking a lot faster.
Maybe they're trying to remember.
Yeah.
But, well, wouldn't
Oh, there
help
we go.
them.
They're through. They are through.
Perfect.
They are through.
Oh, Perfect Jinx is still stuck on the team challenge. This does look like it might be a challenge
For them.
for them, taking a lot of time. Let's see if Blockbusters can pull through this time around.
Oh.
So close. Very, very close.
Here we go. So
Oh,
we've got the Perfect Jinx
Perfect
that
Jinx.
has moved through right onto the last stage. So, I mean, they cleared the first part of the challenge well, so maybe they can go through it. She pulled a bit of a Neo there. She
Really
dodged
running through this.
every.
Look at that. And we have Perfect Jinx winning
That
the second
was
stage.
fantastic to see.
Brilliant.
That
Wow.
that was
That's
that was
a
quick.
good time as well.
That was a good time as well.
Sure. I'm very happy to see that we've got some strong teams coming from the other side as well. It
Yeah.
just makes it so much more interesting.
Now I've got the blockbusters that just need to finalize their period as well.
I think it might be a case where they had that lucky timing last time. It is proving to be a bit of a challenge for them this time around.
But Perfect Jinx seems to have put the quickest time on the clock at the moment.
Oh, we-
258.
We should get those times. It will be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I do think they have pulled
The
through
quickest
the
at
time.
the moment.
Mhm.
I mean, before that we had the Winning Wizards that had the 5 minute,
Blockbusters went
Wow.
through as well.
which is
On to the last. So
There
it's
we
still
go.
important for them to get a good time, as the times will be matched up to the other teams as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, that's going to be a big part. You can't just win it overall. I mean, there might be another team that's won both of their games, and it comes down to how quick did you do it overall.
Yeah,
You know,
it comes down to that last second.
those milliseconds are going to really start making a pact. And there we have Zeus.
Oh, it's a nice view. Blockbusters has just finished as well with
Yeah.
a time of 4 minutes and 21 seconds, which is still
Which is also very quick.
impressive.
It's like we've become accustomed to the speed racing
yes,
that they're
for
doing
sure. That's lead me to
as
think.
well.
I think the Perfect Jinx might have done it under 4 minutes. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. They've
Yeah, no,
definitely
they
done
did.
under
They
4. That's
did.
very, very impressive. I
That
must
was
say.
very fast.
Sure. That was a very interesting match
Yeah.
to watch.
But I mean, they clocked in a time. A Perfect Jinx clocked a time of 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
2 minutes and 58. That's under
That's
3 minutes.
impressive. They would have been able to run that map 3 times within
Sure.
the maximum time
is
that
very,
we've given
very, very
as
impressive.
well. And if I'm not mistaken, the developers of the worlds actually had proper run throughs and timed the whole thing.
They did test it. They did time it with new random players to see if they could get an average time on it. Obviously, I think the developers themselves are pretty
Yeah.
good at the game. They would obviously fly through it as they were the creators of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're correct in saying that they were timed, and this was just phenomenal. I wouldn't be surprised if these teams did it quicker than maybe even the developers.
I think so. I think
or
they
able
would
to
have
do it.
surprised the developers. We'll definitely take all the numbers to them and see what they have to say about how quickly they've gotten through their challenges at the moment.
For
But I
sure.
mean, I also don't think it was too easy. I mean, all of the teams struggled at some point in time with one of the challenges
That is true. That is true.
throughout.
It is. It is. Like I said, it's nice that you have a challenge. If there weren't any challenges, I don't know. Personal opinion, probably, but yeah, it does feel a lot more rewarding and well worth the time. If
No,
if you had
definitely.
a nice challenge.
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, we're now getting ready to move on to the second last round of the group stages. So we're going to have a time on our hands the moment we go into the knockout stages if this is the pace that they're moving at
Yeah.
as well.
Every time you take a sip of water, I get thirsty as well. How does that work?
I don't know. It's the
You're
it's
reminding
the
me to
talking.
drink water.
It's the talking. But I do need to keep it on a hold. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of
Run out of water.
water.
We'll get some more water as well.
You're too kind.
We'll get
Thank
some
you very
more.
much. Thank you very much.
And perhaps a coffee this time.
Well, as
Do you-
I'm counting down the minutes to the coffee at the intermission
Yeah,
time.
you can feel the battery draining as we.
No, definitely. I mean, it's been an early start. I mean, not just for us, for the students as well.
Yeah, they've been online since
Yeah.
early this morning, prepping themselves, getting.
It was brilliant to see their dedication to it. I mean, we had some of the participants rock up and get into their relevant positions and team platforms an hour and a half before the conference, before we even started dealing with their side of it.
For
you
sure.
know? Before we even welcomed the students to the tournament, let alone start the live stream, they were here an hour before.
Yeah, it's the pure excitement.
Yeah.
Like that excitement that wakes you up at
Yeah.
6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, saying,
Let's
"eSports
do
today.
this."
It's eSports today. Let's do it."
Well, I can say I woke up this morning quite early. I mean, we had an early one. We had to be at 6, but at 20 to 6, there were already students going
Logged
at
in.
it on the Discord channels.
Yeah, already logging in, asking
You know?
questions.
Yeah, busy planning to do a dry run before actually starting the tournament this morning. So I think some of them actually were able to manage to fit in a training session before they even played today.
That's fair. That's true. Yeah. Well, like I said, if they're excited about something, they want to do it. They're gonna do
Gonna
everything.
go
I think
after
that the preparation is quite important. Like, if you get up early in the morning to prepare for an event like this, it does come into your advantage. It really does.
No,
So I think-
definitely. Definitely. So we've just been notified that the new teams are busy loading into their world. Again, it's just facing that excitement for the students as well. Obviously trying to corral them behind the gates and getting them ready for
You see
the
them
start
It's always so cool to see them jumping up and down behind the gate, ready to go. You know?
in their custom skins.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
quite interesting to see Perfect Jinx they had a full female skin kit out
Ah,
as well there.
that is true.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I mean they are one of the female teams for ours
oh, that's
as
brilliant.
well. I mean they've clocked
And
the
they
quickest
really
time.
did well. That was
That
impressive.
was, but I mean, that was just a phenomenal run that they
yeah.
had as well. Well, I mean, we'll see if the dunes can slow them down.
We'll see if the Egyptian dunes will do them any good. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I mean, it is at the end of the day core skills that you bring to the table, and I mean, seeing they've done a combination lock, which is some puzzle solving. They've done parkour and a team challenge. If we're faced with parkour and puzzle challenges, chances are, if they really excel at that, they're gonna give us the same results and same energy
Yeah,
in that map as well. So, who knows?
good to see. I think they might undermine the time that's been allotted to those as well, because I mean, from the knockout stages, the game time's longer as well.
That is true.
I think it's sitting currently at just on 20 minutes is the cap for this. 15 minutes is the cap for it. So
15 minutes.
there is an extension in that time period. So if they could clock the same times in a 15-minute map, then needless to say, the developers need to go back to the drawing board. There needs to be more challenges put forward to them as well.
Yeah.
So we've got the Wizards and the Ocelots playing up a game.
The winning Wizards?
No, the Wizards.
The normal Wizards.
The normal Wizards.
Not to be confused
with the winning Wizards.
With the winning team. Yeah.
So far, the winning Wizards have kept up to their name.
They have?
They have taken the win for their round.
No promises made were broken. Yeah.
But let's see if the Wizards can pull out a win as well.
Well, they did have a relatively strong run the first time around. So we've heard. So we're really excited to see them pull through.
And the Ocelots didn't do bad either themselves. I mean, they just got stuck at the combination lock, really. That was their detriment at that point in time.
Well, I think they definitely did take into account that might have been their hinder. So they can definitely take that up, maybe they'll take more time now to complete that.
And get through it.
Well, not take more time to complete, but slow down.
Slow down. Don't spin the locks.
Yes.
Either. Because I'm pretty sure that how fast they were spamming those, they unlocked that door a couple times.
It definitely opened up a couple of times, definitely.
Well, I mean, we saw that in the previous game where they were able to sneak one person across at a time.
That was a very interesting strategy if they planned to do that.
I think that was slightly unplanned. Or maybe it was planned up until they met the slime challenge and they decided, no, we need the full.
We do need the
we
full
need
team.
the full team
For sure.
as well.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting. Like all of the players have different play styles. They've got different methods of doing things, and that's what makes it so unpredictable. Really.
Yeah.
It's really great to see, and the challenges are being done as intended, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So we do have, super players just skipping 3-4 blocks, jumping over the
we've seen teams that clearly have very strong individual players that have, that's helped them speed through it. But then you also have a team like Perfect Jinx that seem to be communicating consistently. They didn't move anywhere without a group.
Without the group.
As well. So, as you said earlier, you might have individual players that just steal the show for the team and take the title, or a well-rounded team that just communicates continuously to take this title.
And it is a very important skill to have. The communication is always very important.
But I have a sneaky suspicion that the teams that aren't communicating as well are going to struggle in the upcoming worlds if they get through to the knockout stages as well.
Oh, they're definitely going to struggle. As we've seen, unfortunately, that teamwork is very important. And apparently it's a resonating thing across the other maps as well. So they would need to work together in order to complete these challenges. Not necessarily time-wise, but at all. As we've seen, the slime jump is the jelly jump. Apologies, the jelly jump.
I like that one.
It's a crucial teamwork moment. If they do not have the right timing, it's not going to work for them.
Well, there's three key elements that sit within that one. You've got the team member that's got to do the actual jump. You've got the team member that needs to launch the pad upwards, and the team member that's got to be able to close the landing pad as well.
For sure. Yeah, so you do need a full team essentially to do that.
So we've got an interesting one coming up. I'm keen to see how the Wizards play. We haven't seen them ourselves.
We have not.
How they move through.
And the Ocelots.
Which we have seen. They came just behind the Blockbusters earlier this morning. So we'll see how they do. If they've adapted, it might be another quick time that we've got as well.
Might be another Perfect Jinx moment. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've just been notified again that the students or the participants
think the creator did purposefully put out the redstone so like
Yeah,
someone
you
could
can
wonder
see it.
on his works. You know?
Amaze upon
Be amazed. Yeah.
the
It's actually
experience.
really cool.
Okay, so we've just been notified that we are going to be swapping over into the game between the Wizards and the Oxalots. And the students are behind the gate waiting. And
Oh,
there we
it's
go.
open. They're
Freedom.
starting, and they've
And
actually got the
they've
same
got
skin.
matching skins.
That's awesome.
Now let's see if the Wizards actually work as well together as what their skins do. Oh, without a hitch. I think this is going to be another fast one.
They did have one Zeus lightning strike come down, but it didn't seem to slow them down too much. Oh, there we go.
So
both teams are actually moving very quickly.
very quickly.
And then head to head.
Yeah, but I mean, as we mentioned earlier on, we've got the Oxalots that are only a 3-man team
That is
at
true.
the moment, and they've taken over
And
the
they're doing,
Wizards at the
doing
moment.
really, really well.
Yeah.
Awesome. The Wizards have moved on to
This is neck and neck at the moment.
the combination challenge. Let's see if they can get it right.
Still going at it, and the Oxalots, they stuck at the levers just trying to get in.
Let's get the right lever pulled, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. And they're through as well. This is quite a tight matchup though.
Yeah.
See, the Wizards are still stuck with the combination. They're trying every possible option, every possible combination, which is
Except the right one.
That, yeah,
They keep missing the right one. They've tried everything. We're taking the sword out of the. Well,
they've
there
got
we
it.
go.
The Axolots are through.
And the Oxalots are on their way through. So
Onto
let's
the
see
team
if they're
challenge.
able to get this to go.
It seems like the Wizards are struggling. Hey, they got through as well. No, they're leaving one player behind.
There we go.
Awesome. Both teams are on
It's the eagerness again coming in. You know, they're just overturning it
happens,
at
it
the moment.
happens. Both teams fighting on
Oh.
the jelly jump, which is always interesting to see. They're gonna have to put their
It's the
timing.
timing of those buttons.
It's the timing, absolutely.
But you can see they've got some communication at the moment, and they are neck and neck.
They really
the
are.
Wizards and the
They
Oxalots
just have to make that jump.
at the moment.
I think the timing from the Axolots are perfect. The jump just has to make it. And, he
And
made
there
it
we
through.
go. We
Perfect.
have the Oxalots through.
Moving on to the final stage.
And the
quite
Wizards are
hastily-
through as well.
Oh, this is going to be
is
very,
neck
very
and neck.
tight. Wow. We've
This
got
is
some
neck and neck. This is exciting.
powerful teams
Right
going
here.
together right here.
Let's see how they do on the final parkour stage. The Wizards have dropped
One
a
of
member.
them seems to have fallen off, yes. Axolots currently have the lead.
But
Uh,
there we go.
failing at the last
any
jump.
point in time, you can fall.
Oh, and Axolots running around. They've got to play
Yeah,
very
rather
close
be
to the
safe.
end.
And the
Oxalots
Oxalots
take
have
the win.
taken the
Well
win.
Play.
And that's a 3-man team. That's impressive.
That's impressive, I must say. And their
That's
time
impressive.
is really good as well. We're going to get their
Very
time
impressive.
now.
Very
And the Wizards
impressive.
on their tails. On their tails. This was a really, really interesting matchup, I must say. Both teams did exceptionally well. They really steamrolled through the
I mean,
challenge.
the Oxalots had a time of 2 minutes and 44.
Wow, that is crazy.
That is insane. That is the quickest one to date.
Sure.
Well, to date. That is the quickest one
That
so
is the
far.
quickest one. That's brilliant. Zeus approves.
And the Wizards have taken the second best time at 2:57.
That is impressive.
Yeah, but that's like a millisecond under what the previous runners had at the moment.
That is true. Some of the players are just jumping off the map. I
Yeah.
think it's pure, just like
Excitement.
joy of
Yeah.
getting a great time like that.
So we've currently got our 3 best times, which is first off the Oxalots at 2 minutes and 44 seconds, the Wizards at 2 minutes 57, and then Perfect Jinx at 2
Perfect
minutes
Jinx.
58.
That's a close
They are
matchup.
getting close.
They are getting close.
This is a good build up, and it's exciting to see them running through these worlds and how quickly they're actually adapting to it.
Yeah,
as
just from
well.
seeing it one time at least, that helps a
Yeah.
lot.
And I mean, that's the end of the second last round for the group stages. We're really coming up very close to deciding on the top 8 teams for the day thus far.
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that are going to be moving into your knockout stages a little bit later on.
Cannot wait. It's going to be great. I just can't believe that they're so close. They're so close with the times. Like, that's interesting to see that, like, all the teams come from, you know, different
Yeah.
schools and environments, and they had different experiences within Minecraft. But when it comes to, you know, the challenge, it's really neck and neck. It's very,
That's right.
very
I
impressive.
mean, you've got a millisecond difference between Perfect Jinx and the Wizards.
Wow.
2 minutes 57 for the Wizards and 2 minutes 58 for Perfect Jinx. That is as close as it gets
I think
at the
the
moment.
sweat intensifies for sure at this stage in the competition.
I mean, that gives us the three base times, so we at least know who they are
For sure.
as well. We're just busy organizing the last round for the group stages as well, which they will start loading the different team members in as well. We can see how that runs. This is the last time we're going to see this map.
Yes, it's going to be the last run,
Last one.
and it's going to be the Enderman versus the winning Wizards, I
Yeah.
believe. Yes.
So we've got the Enderman and the winning Wizards. So we've seen both of them before
Very strong
as
team.
well. So we're going to have to see how they move forward
It's going to be
as
great.
well. Very, very excited for the time
I
to
have
come.
a feeling it's going to be very, very close. I've got a feeling it's going to be very close.
Well, let's see if the winning Wizards can keep to their name
And get a better time
as
than-
well. They're going to have to beat the Wizards' time, and that was a good one, eh?
That was
That was a good one. I thought that Perfect Jinx had put themselves very
Yeah.
comfortably at the lead.
The first spot, yeah.
And the Ocelots just they destroyed it. I mean, 2 minutes 44. That's
Very, very good
Yeah.
times. Yeah. You know, the Wizards, it could be that they are in unity. Yeah, they've got the same skins, they look the same, they've got the spirit. I think that might be the winning, you know,
Whoa.
factor here.
yeah. But I mean, remember these times are just to get them into the knockout stages. The knockout stage is completely different that they're going to be running with as well. So they're going to have to make sure that they keep up that communication throughout the whole way.
Yeah, keep up
As
the,
well.
the energy and the spirit. Definitely has to be kept up. I mean, it only makes sense the further that you go, the more driven you should be, because it gets increasingly more difficult throughout
Yeah.
the challenges.
And I mean, you're touching right on the. So we're just going to move over quickly through to another view of the world. There really was a lot of effort put into the different levels of this as well.
I think the
And-
observer is personally is enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
It looks great. Yeah.
A quality viewpoint.
This is nice.
I mean, it really makes you feel like you're up there with the Greek gods.
It's a bird eye view.
Yeah, as well. But it was interesting to see. I would have liked to see what happened with the Wizards if their first member didn't fall out of the fountain.
It
The
could have
upwards
been
fountain.
Yeah, because it was the front runner.
And he just fell.
Didn't make it. Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, the Ocelots, their front runner dropped in the small parkour section just before the final buzzer
Yeah.
as well. So we could have actually had team members running under 2.5 minutes.
Very, very possible. Yeah. And like again, key moments. If you
Yeah.
miss that small jump, miss that small ledge, it takes valuable time, especially if that was your key player. Definitely.
I would like to see a team member clock in under a quarter of the given time. That would be impressive.
Yes.
That we can see.
Definitely.
I mean, both of these teams coming up do have the potential for it
For sure.
as well.
Oh, look at that.
Being held in the palm of Zeus himself.
Would you just like to be Zeus? Yeah, having a look.
It must be
above,
nice, huh?
Have a nice view all the time.
Guarantee you, he doesn't struggle with power outages.
Surely not. No. He provides power.
I know, right? A
He
number
is-
of the players felt he's powered today.
He is the generator. Yeah.
The free generator without costs at the moment
For sure.
as well. So
Awesome. Enderman versus the winning Wizards.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
no.
I bet they are burning with excitement as well.
Especially knowing that it's the last one as well.
Mm.
I'd like to see how the students actually make use of the intermission period.
Mm. Are they
Going
preparing?
forward.
Are they communicating? Are they
Mm.
talking? About the
Mm.
problems that they had.
Well, I mean, they're going to be
mistakes they
sitting
made?
in a lot of anticipation because
Mm.
they'll only be really notified about halfway through the intermission
Mm.
who's made it,
Who's going through?
who's
Yeah.
made it through as well.
Sure.
So it's coming
It's gonna be
to
tense.
the busiest part of the tournament as well
Yeah.
with it. So yeah, but it's good to see that currently there's a fair split in your team. So I mean, as we mentioned at the beginning, we've got 5 different teams participating in today's tournament, and currently the teams that are taking the top marks is split across
Mm.
everybody
That is
as
true.
well.
That is true. But yeah, just getting back to the preparation, I think it is very important in the intermission. It's like, the locker talk. When you grab your team after the halfway match, put them into the locker, you give a motivational speech. When they go out, they win the game. That kind of scenario.
I mean, we're going to have to see that from a couple of the teams now coming through. I mean, I think they might have a good idea as to kind of the types of challenges that they might be facing a little bit later on.
I think
well.
they definitely they are going to expect something similar, but it's still going to be.
But they shouldn't expect it to be
It's not going to
completely
be the
the same, because
Yeah.
that's really going to impact them. I mean, we've just seen a millisecond difference, but you're either second or third in the log so far
Yeah, sure. It's
with
gonna
it
be
all
very
in terms
interesting.
of quickest time.
Hmm.
And then it's so within the group stages, it's your average of your performance
Hmm.
as well. So I mean, the perfect Jinx might have had a phenomenal time second run, but not so good in the third. And I mean, same thing with the Oxalots, who have taken the top as well.
It's possible.
But we've just been notified that we're going to be moving into the final rounds of the group stages. It's going to be good fun. And we've got the Enderman versus the Oxalots. So we're currently going to see the Enderman running out of the gates any second. There we go.
And they're off. Someone
And
is
they're
running
off.
off of the map almost.
I think he
Got
forgot.
distracted there for a
Yeah.
second. Yes, of course. 2 of their players came a bit late. I wonder if
Yeah.
they didn't see the gate open.
I don't know, but I mean, maybe it's communication because the other 2 have been together the whole way through. So maybe they do know
That is true.
as well. Prime example of it. And here we go. And the winning wizards are off as well. So
They are
both teams
already
are already
almost
struggling with it. But we've got
Winning
a
wizards already through
movement
the first
through it,
challenge,
which
opening up
is
for their team.
very well done
Brilliant. Just brilliant.
as well. So now they're going to be moving on to the combination locks to see what's up.
I see we
for
do
them there.
have a front runner for the winning wizards as well. They do need a team for that communication, and especially the team challenge as well.
Well, I mean, we've got the Enderman moving up now as well.
Oh, we got one who just pressed all the switches. That's what I was talking about. If you don't know the right answer, spam all of them and take the consequences.
Now we're watching what they're currently doing.
Yeah, the combination lock has been quite of a difficult challenge, proven to be. But I think it's such a fun one.
Yeah.
I mean, you rush through the whole challenge, but then you get to a stage where you kind of just have to focus. With all the excitement burning, you just have to stand still and try and figure it out.
I just heard through the grapevine that there's a possibility for an upset on our fast scores currently put by the teams that we just watched, coming from your second rounds that currently just aren't being streamed. So that would be interesting to see who from there comes up and takes the top slot.
Absolutely.
As well. But I mean, all of that will be shared during the intermission itself.
The winning wizards are through.
And they're right through.
I think they're going to have
The
a very
winning
good...
wizards have a time on their hand.
Oh, and the right on the tail.
This is
Again,
close
a
again.
neck-to-neck
These are 2
challenge.
phenomenal challenges at the moment. Back to back.
Wizards at the end, jumping across,
Oh,
pressing the
just
button.
taking it.
The winning Wizards take the win for this round. And on their tail, Oxalots.
Winning Wizards
How
have kept up to their
brilliant.
name
That was brilliant.
as well.
2:20, 2 minutes 20 seconds.
2 minutes and 20 seconds from the winning Wizards.
That's
I asked
crazy.
for a time under 2.5 minutes and they exceeded it.
Ask and it shall receive. That is awesome. Wow. That was a brilliant time.
Brilliant.
And I
brilliant
must
time.
say, the Axolots were right on their tail.
But
It
I
was
mean,
such a brilliant time as well.
Yeah, but I mean, the Endermen have just come in under it
That's
as
true.
well.
Sure. But the Endermen, as we can see here again, they are proving to
Yeah.
be a very, very
But
powerful
If
team.
I'm not mistaken, their time came in at 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Mm.
Both of them now taking the top
So
spots going
close.
into the group stages.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be such a close decision. Wow. Going into
Yeah.
the knockout stages.
And I think that was a good way of wrapping up the group stages as a whole. Two very competitive last rounds. Very competitive last rounds. And I mean, that leads us into the intermissions itself that we're going to be running into soon.
Sure.
Looking forward to that cup of coffee, though, especially now. I need to be awake to watch what's going to happen in the
Great.
knockout stages.
I'm actually hyped. Like, I don't even need coffee anymore. I'm so excited. But I might crash later today if I don't get my coffee.
Yeah, no, so I mean, we're going to go and sort that out at the moment. I sincerely hope that the players can, kind of go back to their drawing boards.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just going to go into the intermission now for 20 minutes as a whole. Obviously, with the moment we come back up, we'll be sharing who's made it through to the knockout stages.
I believe we
Fantastic.
are putting some of the times and scores up on the intermission.
So we'll be sharing the knockout stages schedule as we're going through. So on there we'd be able to see who's
Awesome.
coming through. So yeah,
Good stuff.
thank you very much for joining with the stream so long. We'll be back in 20 minutes on the dot, and then we can continue with the excitement.
Can't wait.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining again. Sorry about the quick shut off again. Uh, just had a couple of technical difficulties with sound for the stream, but it's all sorted now. Yeah, we were covering the amazing times that we've seen some of the team members doing, and I think we've got a fantastic quarterfinals coming up, especially with the new map.
Yeah, it's going
It's
to be
coming
it's going to be
through.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Like I said before, it's going to be a lot of the same types of challenges, but they're going to be laid out in completely different. So we'll be seeing some parkour, we'll be seeing some interesting puzzle-based
yeah.
challenges as well. So the teams will be really tested in the quarterfinals. Judging by their times, I think we're going to have, a real feast seeing these guys join on the second wheel. It's going to be incredible. I think so.
Yeah,
For sure.
no, I think we've got some good esports viewing on our hands coming up. We're just busy finalizing the quarterfinals listings. We do have the fastest times dotted down that we can share with you as of now. So the fastest team to complete the first world during the group stages was the winning Wizards with a time of 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Incredible.
That is insanely fast.
Less than a quarter of the
Yeah.
of the allocated time. That's really, really impressive.
And then following right on their heels is the Endermen with a time of 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So it's coming down to those last few
Yeah.
milliseconds throughout. Then after the Endermen, we've got your Whispering Withers. So the Whispering Withers were one of the teams that clocked this time in the second round.
The second round.
Second round
Yeah.
pathways. So we didn't get to see them run through, but they clocked in amazing
Incredible time.
running through. And then we've got the Ocelots just after them at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So again, there seems to be slight gaps and then almost no gaps.
I think it's going to be head to head with the second challenge as well. It's really going to be at the tight matchup, and that's what we're here for. We're here for to see that really intense tight matchup.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be thrilling. Rather, I'm already starting to sweat.
Yeah, well, I mean, to give an idea, the eighth slowest time, so the eighth slowest time was by the Blockbusters, and that was a time of 4 minutes and 21 seconds. That was what
Which is
I
still
was
very
expecting
impressive.
going into this to be somewhat the fastest time rounds that we're going for.
Yeah, they definitely went above and beyond our expectations. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
we did expect the teams to maybe be close to the allocated time, but they just absolutely
Yeah, demolished it.
demolished it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's really
the
cool.
group stages went past at a fly, to be honest. And the world developers are going to have to
Up the
for the
game.
next one up the game because
Up the
apparently
game.
it's not difficult enough.
Well, I think it is a speed run.
I
to
mean,
be
true.
honest. So we are looking for best times. But yes, it does set a good frame of reference, and then we can know, for the world developers moving forward. Let's make it lengthier. Let's make it more difficult. Let's put
Yeah.
two jelly jumps in. Make it very interesting.
No, and I mean now you'll see on your screen is the current standings going into the quarterfinals. So the first quarterfinals is going to be the Whispering Withers against the Axolots. That's going to be an exciting
That's
one.
going to be a tight one. I think those
Ah.
are our two best times, if
No,
not.
so the fastest one is actually the Wizards, which is up
Oh,
against
that's correct.
Perfect
Jinx.
Jinx, who also
That's
had
gonna
a
be
very good
Very
time
good time.
as well. Then we've got the Endermen versus the Winning Wizards. The Winning Wizards who currently have the fastest time overall throughout. And then we've got a Gamer Level and the Blockbusters. So two of the teams that are up here that we'll see were part of your second string of games that were going around that weren't on this on the live stream. So we've got two teams that might come in and really shake
It's
the
gonna
boat.
be it's gonna be intense. I think
Yeah.
the teams were randomized into the slots.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. But again, it's a different set of challenges. So they don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming. So it might be, a challenge that complements the strengths of, different players and different teams.
I mean, you might have it where your fastest team at this point in time just can't get past a specific challenge. And one of your slower teams, even though it's not slow,
and still very impressive times,
are able to take the lead with it.
Yeah, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
And it's important to just mention that obviously we're now into the knockout stages. So the moment that someone loses, unfortunately, that is the end of their tournament runnings.
And if they run, this
and
is where it
the
happens.
winning moves on, and we eventually go to the finals as well, which is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun
as well. So very excited.
And of course, they're doing the semi-finals and the finals in yet another new map that have been created. So it's going to be something entirely new.
Well, we'll have our first looks at the Egyptian dunes. The Egyptian dunes, and see what did the developers have in mind for the students. What challenges are they going to face, and how are they going to have to work through it as well?
For sure. It's going to be very interesting. I'm excited for this one. I really think so. It's said to be a bigger map than the previous one. I think the speed run was the smallest map of the three, so we'll be seeing a lot more.
Well, I mean, it makes sense if you're looking at the time allocation for it. So these times are bigger or longer than what your first rounds were, or first map was. It's 15 minutes, which was allocated as a maximum time for completing these worlds. So, I mean, it's a third on top of it.
For sure.
They were looking at. So,
judging by the times that these teams have given us, I don't think they're going to be.
No, I think we could have left them at the 10-minute mark, to be honest. But we're going to have to see. Maybe the developers put something in that we don't know about at all.
That would be interesting. I think they want to surprise us as well. You're going to have to wait and see.
Well, us and the participants
and
themselves.
The viewers, yes.
Yeah.
This is for our enjoyment.
Very much so. And especially the first team of the quarterfinals going into this. They've got quite a bit of pressure on them because it's the first time that anyone will be seeing these maps.
That is correct. Even if they won't be able to watch the stream while playing, so they won't even get a sneak peek at the world. That's going to be interesting.
So we've got quite a run ahead of us as well. So we have been notified that the teams are obviously getting ready, prepping to get into the Worlds. So obviously it's a brand new world, so it's just getting them adjusted and almost acclimatized to where they need to start off of as well. And if I'm not mistaken, both the Egyptian dunes and the Nordic raids actually have instructions from the beginning on how to get to the specific challenges.
Correct. Yeah, it is apparently a very straightforward path. So students or players shouldn't have any difficult time with actually finding their way to the challenges. It's set up pretty straightforward and easy. But luckily, we do have administrators to walk them through it and help them navigate to the start of all of these challenges.
But these maps are very scenic, if I'm not misunderstood. I mean, from the trailers that were shared with us and everything like that, the sneak peeks that we had of it, it looks like it's fantastic. So we're going to be joining into the world now any second,
shortly,
as well. There we go. And these are the Egyptian dunes.
And they are off. No time wasted.
Off. And they are on a mission.
We can see the jump sprint again coming into play. It is actually very useful. It does help with your movement. It's obviously something that they have practiced.
Well, I mean, we're currently watching the Whispering Withers, which we haven't seen as of yet, as well. And I mean, you can see this is definitely the Egyptian dunes.
Oh, it is the pyramids you were talking about. Yeah, for sure.
Alright. The developers did not miss a beat.
They are heading down into the pyramid for the first challenge. Let's have a look.
I'll take a look through this as well. So we're currently watching the Ocelots to see what they can do. I think part of what's going to have to happen is they also need to figure out what the challenge is
Yes, that's
as
correct.
well. So it's it's the whole thing, and waiting for their team members to catch up
They're waiting with the
as
team
well.
members, absolutely. Yes.
And the Whispering Withers also seem to be a bit unsure of where the challenge lies at the moment.
So I believe in the first challenge they have to, and they've actually just gone ahead and done it. They're going to have to find a button to open the door, which they have managed to find. And now there is a combination of buttons that need to be pressed in order for them to
Be able to get through to the
chest.
chest.
Yes, that's correct. And be careful not to fall into the lava. Oh, we go on playing
And
the lava.
there we go.
Their team is going to help them get across. It does look like they still need one more platform to cross.
Yeah, there we go. They should be able to make the jump now.
Oh dear.
Oh, just made it
Into
at the
the
end.
lava.
The
Oh,
Oxalots have moved
Oxalots have
right
already
past it
gone
as well.
through.
They're living up to that quick speed that they have put up in the previous group stages as well.
Right, moving up into the pyramid, it looks like they are going on to the second challenge already. The Axolots are really moving forward.
Yeah, they're making some headway with all of this, but you can see they are waiting for their team
They
as
are,
a collective, which
yes.
it's a good
It's very important.
It's a good sign as well. Let's have a look, see where the Whispering Withers are. They are currently still stuck in the main area. And we've got the Oxalots jumping all the way down.
They're actually doing really well. I think they're already putting up a really good solid time. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And now they're entering into a parkour stage. This was promised to be very challenging as opposed to the previous one. So
This is definitely going to be a mission.
it's
Now
gonna
I
be
can see why the
difficult, yeah.
developers made the suggestion of 15-minute maximum
Yes.
time allocation for this. And I mean, remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't finish, or both teams don't finish within the allocated time, the team that's made it the furthest through will win.
They will take the
victory.
Yes,
So
of course.
at this point in time, the Oxalots need to make as much ground as what they can.
Yeah, and this is also it is the crux of the actual map.
Yeah.
So this might actually, if the Axolots do struggle, it does buy some time for the other team to catch up, perhaps.
Yeah. And I think this one's gonna hit hard if you fall down from the top. You're just
It
gonna
is
have to
gonna hit
hope
hard.
that you can land on something just underneath.
Aim for the water. I think
Yeah.
that would be the key in that.
And the Whispering Withers still seem to be stuck in the first
They are
challenge.
still stuck in the first challenge. I do not see the other two players. I'm not exactly sure if they have the full team there.
Yeah.
It just looks like they running around.
But the Whispering Withers were so close to finishing it the first time in any event. I mean, they were on the final stages of getting to the chest and moving on from this challenge
Yes.
as well. So it makes you wonder what they did,
Huh?
what change in tactic they made.
But that's just the
as
thing.
well.
Like it's very unpredictable. All these maps are different, so you're gonna have to bring
Yeah.
your full set of skills and hope they work in your favor to different challenges for sure.
I mean, that's why the fair warning was given to all the participants, which is that you can't really train 100% for these tournaments because they are so different.
So different,
You
yeah.
know, you've got a different challenge at every corner.
We have one of the Axolots doing a really good run here on the parkour. He's made it nearly to the top.
Hopefully, he
Don't
can
look
make
down.
it to the
This is going to be
end.
a very, very close one.
Oh, okay. At least he saved it in the fall,
Not too far down. He should be all right.
and he's made it
Almost to the
just
top.
to the end.
A few more steps. There we go. He can hit the lever and
And-
help his team to actually get up.
There we
There
go.
we go. Perfect. So they have actually moved on to the third and final
Wow.
challenge of this
Very
map.
quick. The team members just need to actually swim
And
upwards.
not drown. They're doing okay.
Okay, so the Whispering Withers have finally progressed back to where they were as well. Through to see what needs to happen. And now we're at the Oxalots to see what their final challenge is.
It looks like they're heading into a maze. This might be a very interesting one.
Oh,
I think the observers could also get lost in this. So it's going to be very interesting to see
yeah.
what happens. It looks like they made it through the first section. and they're heading into an exit.
They've done very well
They
to
have
get
done very
through
well.
that maze as well, you know.
This unfortunately seems like a fake exit. I've just been informed, so they are actually now prompted to move back to the very start of
Oh, so they had chosen the wrong
the
option.
wrong exit. Yes, of course.
Oh, that's got to
Right.
be heartbreaking.
It looks like the Whispering Withers have the item that they need to progress, so they are running now. They've got a lot of catching up to do, so I'm hoping they can catch up in time.
Well, I mean, if they could keep up to the time that they had put through in their earlier rounds, they'd definitely be able to pull something out.
Definitely.
There is a potentiality for that.
All right. It looks like
Really?
they're doing great. So far, there is... Oh, there we go. Got another excellent player starting the maze from the beginning as they went through the fake
Yeah.
exit.
Hopefully, he doesn't take the same route that
That would be a
they
wise
did
decision to make.
previously. But you see, this is where the teamwork communication comes in now.
Oh yeah, for sure. They
Yeah.
do need to notify each other that this way doesn't work, head the other way.
Otherwise, you will be starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
And Whispering Withers
I see
seem
those
to be
teams are
coming
struggling
to
there.
the top.
Hmm.
of
Yeah,
it
they
all.
seem to be stuck a little bit. I'm hoping that one of the admins can help with that.
Yeah.
I think they've accidentally gone and broken one of the ladders. There we go.
Mm.
Perfect.
Ah,
There we go.
okay. Well, there we go. We're all good. Sometimes
Perfectly
it
fine.
doesn't help to break what you need to climb on.
That would be useful. Yes. And they're moving on to the parkour
Second
section.
channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does look like they are gaining some time running down the stairs. Oh, one of the players actually fell on a hard place, unfortunately.
Instead of in the water.
Yes, that would have
As
been
well.
helpful.
But if you look at the way that Whispering Withers played the first rounds, their parkour skills were actually very good
Pretty good.
as well. And we've got the Oxalots back again. This maze seems to be stumping them.
It seems to be getting to them. Yes, absolutely. As difficult as mazes get, I mean, they can get really confusing.
Yeah.
You could get stuck in them for quite a while.
So it'd be very interesting to see how they get out of this.
So we do see this member already going
It
the
looks
fake
like it's
exit
the
again.
same
to.
exit.
It keeps happening.
Doesn't seem to be learning from it.
I'm really hoping that they are going to be learning from their mistakes next time around. Perhaps
Yeah.
communicate to each other, saying, "Listen, don't go right, go left," whatever it might be.
Well, we can see already that this new map is stumping the teams.
Yes, it's
I
really
mean,
taking
they're
that.
running a lot slower than what they did in the beginning.
That is true. It is a bit of a bigger map. There's the same amount of challenges, but it does take a lot out of them as the challenges are increasingly more difficult.
Yeah.
for
Well, I mean,
players.
it's attempting to test out who's the best of the best at this point in time.
That
you
is
know?
true. You need to up the
So-
challenge. I think that the developers were listening in on the stream and made a couple of changes. What do you think?
Last minute changes.
Last minute changes, just make it more difficult.
Well, we can see the Whispering Withers are making decent
Good-
progress
good
now
progress.
on the parkour section.
Yes, there's that strong parkour player that we heard of in the first round. There we go.
There we go,
And
and
press
he's
the
been
lever.
able to assist his team out
Right.
of the hole. Now it's coming down neck and neck again. If Whispering Withers is able to solve the maze a lot quicker than the Oxalots, then they can take it
They
over.
could take the win. They could absolutely.
really
they could
take
the
it.
lead. I'm wondering how far the other team is actually how far they are right now.
Yeah, I'd like to know where the Oxalots are. They seem to be stuck
In the maze
In the
still,
maze
yes, they're
still.
trying to figure that out. I personally don't like mazes. It's very confusing.
It's disorientating, and I think that's the big challenge of it. You
Yeah.
know,
If you take a few turns, you don't exactly know where
As
you are,
well.
where you should be heading.
but
It looks
this
like
seems like it's the right exit.
this is
No,
the entrance.
entrance.
We went all the way back to the entrance.
All the way back, and that you see that's a disorientating
That
effect
is,
that's coming
absolutely.
through as well.
They really are going to have to communicate and just kind of designate and help each other through that.
Yeah,
We've got the Withers doing their first fake exit, it seems. They are having a bit of a hard time there as well. Let's see how many players can go
through the fake exit.
Oh, we got the
every time.
Axolots doing it again through the fake exit.
Sent right back to the beginning again.
They have to run all the way back. And if they run in the wrong direction, it steals a lot of their time.
Yeah.
So they unfortunately.
But you see, this is, as we said before, it's heavily communication needs to be in on this, because that's the only way you're going to solve a maze like this, a maze of this size.
That is
You
true.
know, you're not going to be able to just run through it solo unless you've got a memory of.
An elephant.
No, yeah.
Is it an elephant? Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to have you're going to be stuck.
Yeah. All right. We're back to the withers. It looks like they've got a different path that they selected this time. I'm really hoping to see that they.
Seem
can
to be
finish
going the
through.
right way. There we go. There's a different exit at the moment. Hopefully that gets them to where they need to be.
It was a fake exit as well. It seems that they are back to the start. This phase is really getting the better of them. And a team has just finished. It looks like the
Axolots have found the actual exit.
The actual exit. Well done.
That is fantastic. So we've got our first team progressing through to the semi-finals. At a time of 11:54 seconds, you can see that these challenges are
really more
a lot more
difficult.
difficult
Yes. Of
as
course.
well.
Sure, that's incredible. If we could, I think they weren't too far behind. They were struggling a bit in the beginning with the switches. The Axolot had the upper hand, completing the first challenge very quickly. But as you can see, it can take so much time. With the maze, that it really comes down to, well, the maze being the crux of the challenge. Who can do the maze the quickest?
But the part of the maze is it's a team-based challenge. Unfortunately, not one of those things that you can solo. And I mean, we saw the Whispering Withers were able to solo the parkour course. There was one lead that took that, but it doesn't seem like there's that communication that's going on.
True.
And we've got the Whispering Withers that have just finished themselves as well.
I think that challenge proved to be a lot more difficult than the previous one. The maze, I think, was the difficult part. They really did struggle with that. But they made it before the allocated time, which it does qualify. So yeah, we're going to have to see what the other teams have to bring as well. Maybe they can figure the maze out a bit quicker than the rest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least we now have a sound movement towards our semi-finals. We have our first team that's progressed into it as well, which is fantastic. And here you've got a nice aerial shot of what the Egyptian dunes look like. And there is actually a giant...
You called it.
Anubis.
You called it. There's Anubis.
Statue.
Well, Anubai.
Because there's many of them.
There's many Anubai, if that is the correct term. Yeah. Awesome. That's brilliant. Oh, look at that. We've got two cameras.
Stunning shot.
That's
as
beautiful.
well. And you can imagine what type of environment this poses to the participants as they're running through this as well.
For sure. Getting the scenery, getting into the look and feel of the map.
As well.
I think it really adds up to the overall experience. Really does.
And I mean, you've got an amazing feature wall that's actually sitting at the very back.
That looks great.
As well.
Yeah. Sure. Props to the developer. It's really a beautiful world. Well set up.
It's a stunning map that was put together. And I'm sure even the students that struggled with the maze had a absolute ball trying to get through it. I mean, what's a challenge if it's not difficult?
That is true. I would actually love to hear the communication between the teams while they are doing these challenges. That would be something interesting. What are they saying? What are they communicating? Are they motivating each other?
Because I'd love to know what they thought of the world that they were running through as well. Because I mean, there's so many fantastic elements, just like this, these massive statues that's been erected upwards as well. So it was fantastic to see the first map of the knockout stages as well. And I'm excited to see what the other team members are going to be able to do.
I think we weren't expecting it to be lengthy like that, but the maze is definitely proving to be a problem.
The maze has definitely been the issue.
It's going to be interesting.
But I'm not too surprised about it, if I'm being very honest, because if you look at the speed map, there was a lot of individual based stuff, and that was running through. I mean, there was team based
Yes,
challenges, but I feel like this world has it more emphasized.
definitely,
You know,
definitely.
like the maze is it's a big team based one, and even in the first world that we saw during the group stages, the team based challenges always
Take the most time.
took the most time.
Yeah, unless you get
It
lucky.
stuck them.
I mean, that's the same for the maze. If you
Yeah,
accidentally chose the wrong
find the right
direction,
one, then fantastic.
it's true.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, we need to. I'm excited to see who's coming up next as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So let's just have a look, see at what the
Tight.
standings are now. So we've got obviously the Whispering Withers that have moved on to the first semi-finals bracket. We are now going to be jumping in very shortly into the round with the Wizards and the Perfect, Jinx,
That's the one.
as well. Now, would it not be something if you had the winning Wizards versus the Wizards
for
in the finals? That would be an interesting one as
Awesome.
well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be very interesting. But it's not actually far from impossible, because I mean the Wizards have been showing us some really good strengths,
Yeah.
as well as the winning Wizards. I mean
But they're gonna have to get past Perfect Jinx now, because Perfect Jinx had a very clean run.
very very clean.
You know, and they were one of the teams that communicated the best. I mean, if you watched how they moved through the worlds and stuff like that, it was grouped the
Yeah.
whole way through.
And it was at a
didn't lose anyone.
very good pace, and they actually did wait for each other.
Yeah.
But you can see it's a well-rounded team. Like they all have, judging by how they play, very similarly matched skills as well.
Yeah.
So that's actually
So it'd be good to see what they
Helpful.
can do in terms of the maze.
that's going to be
Because I
interesting.
think that's the biggest one. I think that the biggest challenge in the Egyptian dunes at this point in time is going to be that maze.
The maze. The parkour,
That
surprisingly enough, it does seem to be more difficult in the first one, but all these teams that were here, or all the teams that had really good times in the first match that we saw, they're good with parkour because they
Yeah.
just absolutely ran through it. So it should be it shouldn't prove to be a big challenge this time
Yeah.
around as well.
But it's good to see how the different rounds was structured so that it really tested different areas of their teamwork, personal skills, stuff like that as well. I mean, because as you said, now the first world was very much just your parkour, your quick running skills, and now that's immediately made a change, and it's more than tripled their time of completion.
It is more than triple the time. I don't get a second run through it, so
No.
it's
So
they're
this-
gonna red point it.
Yeah, they need to hit this as best as what they can
And
as well.
only get one shot.
Yeah,
Have to make it count.
yeah. Well, I mean, from the semi-finals, they get to challenge the last world
Yeah,
as well, which
That's
is going to be an interesting one as well.
that is going to be an interesting one. I believe they do play the finals, the semi-final world again in the finals.
Yes, yeah, they do. But I also understand that there's very similar to how it was done with the world in the group stages. The challenges that they face are changed somewhat in terms of the answers and stuff like that, so that it's never the same challenge
never the same.
fundamentally. So it might be faster because they would have been more, accustomed to the way that it
Well,
moves
the
and
type
stuff
of
like
challenge, yeah, for sure.
that. But yeah,
But yeah, obviously, if the answers are randomized and maybe even a different question per se, it's going to be like a new challenge in the
Well, I
same
mean,
style.
here we can actually see that maze, or could have seen that maze that really stumped the lot
That
of
was a
them
big maze.
as well.
It really is huge. Yeah.
But this is a bigger map. It's definitely a bigger map than what they experienced earlier.
And it's so interesting that all the maps are relatively like symmetrical.
Yeah.
I think and that was one of the things that it needs to be symmetrical in the sense of they have the same amount of distance to cover, just to give them a fair chance at it as well.
A lot of focus was clearly put to making sure that there is that symmetry sitting throughout. And I mean, it's obviously to make sure that it's as fair as possible for all
sure.
of the players.
But it looks nice. I do like symmetry. I like the way it's laid out. It looks very, very nice.
Yeah, no, I couldn't pick at anything that sits in this map currently. And you said there was going to be sand?
There's a lot of sand.
There's a lot of sand.
I stand corrected.
They've not failed on the sand at any point in time as well.
Oh, here we go. There's a look at the maze again. Looks like there's 2 closed sections and 1 open section for each maze. That's
so it's like undercover and then covered as well. I think that adds to the disorientation creates as well. So we've just been informed that we're just waiting for a couple of participants to be able to get onto the Worlds for the second quarterfinals as well.
Ooh, it's getting close.
Yeah,
it's getting real close. I see there's a lot of trees in this world as well, eh?
Yeah, and a nice mixture of greenery.
Oh yeah, it definitely adds colour
into it as well.
I always add greenery to my food, so just to bring some colour into your plate of food at home. Definitely always helps. Helps there, and apparently it looks nice in eSports.
It makes it more homely. Is what I would say. So yeah, we're just waiting on the final teams. I'm very excited to see what happens in these quarterfinals leading up to the semis, because I do think the semis are going to be close.
Very, 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 very close. Yeah.
I mean, we would have narrowed down from 12 teams starting this morning through to 4.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, luckily, some of the teams that unfortunately didn't make it into the quarterfinals or finals do get an opportunity to actually play these worlds, to be a part of that. And I think that's great. To be a part of the first, education edition of Minecraft eSports is great. And it's a hype. Yeah. It's the start of something.
And I mean, I do believe that every team that has played today has had a phenomenal experience running through these worlds. And I mean, they don't leave empty-handed either. I mean, we'll obviously give out some ideas as to what they're going to be getting a little bit later on, but at no point in time are they not getting anything.
Well, I think if anything, they should be, they should be focusing on that experience and letting this motivate them for the upcoming.
Yeah.
If you know what's waiting for you, like, oh, we didn't do too great on parkour, let's go ahead and sharpen up our parkour skills. So when they face a challenge like that again in future eSports events, they're probably going to nail it that time around.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. So if anything, it should be motivating them for the next to come.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we've now just got another glance at some of the games that have coming up. I think the Wizards against Perfect Jinx is going to be very close. I mean, there are 2 teams that had very, very good times throughout as well.
Oh, they had very, very good times indeed. We're going to have to see how they do up with mazes. We did see the communication skills being really good for the Perfect Jinx. So I'm really hoping to see that comes through and complements them in the maze for sure. We're going to have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. So we are now in the second quarterfinals round. We're currently going to watch the Wizards and Perfect Jinx run down
Gates
to their
are
challenges.
open. There we go. They're taking quite a lot of damage jumping down the stairs. Doesn't seem to bother them at all.
The Perfect Jinx is hopping along, and we've got the Wizards doing the exact same, trying to catch some of that extra speed.
Oh yes, it helps. Every second helps.
Movement as well.
There we go. Up the stairs into the pyramid.
So we've got the Perfect Jinx getting ready to move on to their first challenge as well.
Down the hole. Here we go.
See what are they going to do in this one now as well. So obviously they need to go and search for how to open.
There is a single button that opens the first door, and the room is filled with different buttons. So they're gonna have to look for the correct one.
And they are going to have to try for everything.
Yes.
Well, it looks like the Perfect Jinx has found that button finally, after trying almost every button available to them.
We did see them spamming everything.
But you can see the communication is already a lot better than what we saw with some of the previous teams between Perfect Jinx and everyone else. So it's a
Oh
fantastic.
wow,
at
that
this
was
point in
brilliant.
time.
That communication is on point.
Yeah.
You're correct with that, eh? Like they really do communicate every step. There we just saw the buttons being
Yeah.
pressed at the exact right time for their player to move through.
You can see the wizards are now stuck
Oh, it
in
doesn't look too
the
good for them.
lava. So the wizards seem to have made some progress, not as elegantly as what the perfect jinx has done
Fair enough.
so far, but they're getting ready to face their second challenge now,
They're moving
which
on
is
to
also
the
an
parkour.
interesting one, which is the parkour challenge as well. So here we might see which team does better. The wizards were excellent on the parkour the first.
Yeah, the first time
Rounds.
around, it was a very, very impressive sight to see. It does not look like the perfect jinxes are struggling. Or I
there
said
was
it too
just
early.
a slip, just a slip. I think you jinxed them.
I jinxed them.
You
No,
jinxed them. You gave them the
but
bad
they're
luck.
doing really well. We can see that they do have very strong parkour players as well. Just moving, at a really good pace through the parkour challenge.
Yeah. They seem to just be slipping about halfway through, just under halfway through the whole time.
It could be that they are too hasty on it as well.
Yeah.
We just saw the wizards falling down into the water puddle onto their parkour challenge.
And getting ready to catch up to the perfect jinx. So let's see which one actually takes over. But as we saw previously, the maze is the biggest
The maze is
challenge.
his biggest one.
Going to have to see how they tackle that.
But again, it comes down to the strengths and weaknesses of the players. The Wizards are currently now in the lead in the parkour. It looks like they are doing exceptionally well with the parkour section of it.
But they've clearly got a very good lead.
They do have a very good
as well,
lead.
and just like that, he's
They've completed it.
enabled his whole team to get through it as well.
Moving on to the maze, let's see how this plays out.
And the Jinx are unfortunately still stuck with
The
the
parkour
parkour.
challenge, yes, it is proven to be a bit difficult for them as well.
But now we need to see if the Wizards, how many times they're going to open a
A
fake, exit
we're gonna have to find out.
as well.
So
Maybe
this
they're going to go the right way or the wrong way.
this maze can really take a lot of time, as we've seen before. So we're really hoping to see that the Jinxes finishing those parkour. They've actually just pulled through, as I said it, onto the maze.
So the perfect Jinx have come through, but just at the end, just before we transitioned over to the perfect Jinx, the Wizards had gone to a fake exit
Awesome.
as well.
That's always entertaining to see. Unfortunately, now they have to walk all the way back to the start and start the maze from the beginning.
So I'm interested to see what the perfect Jinx does that as a communication. It looks like the Wizards have almost split up to see how much ground
They can cover, for sure.
in a shorter period of time as well.
It looks like they're having a bit of a communication
So-
break there.
So the Wizards are making good pace to the end.
We're seeing both teams
As well.
at the exact same place now, regardless of the parkour being taken over by the Wizards. So it's actually very interesting to see who pulls through at the end.
Yeah.
Like, it's very unpredictable.
But it seems that the Wizards have taken the victory.
Oh, they have.
It looks like they have snuck through. We just need to make sure that they have gotten through to the end as well. The perfect Jinx is still stuck in the maze.
Still trying to find their way.
Still trying to find their way. But the Wizards have taken it.
Oh wow!
The
We've got a
Wizards
player
have
that
taken
just ran through it.
Yeah.
Just sprinted.
So their split
Wow.
approach did work
In
well
this case,
for them.
it could be luck. Like I said,
Could
just
be luck.
choosing the right path as well. Wow!
You never
Wizards
know.
for the win.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate for the perfect Jinx, but they did a very good
They
run.
had such a powerful run, especially in the first map.
That communication was phenomenal
Yeah.
as well. I don't think anyone took any damage
Yeah.
running
that's
throughout
true.
it as well.
Did it really well. I'm really hoping to see a lot more of them in the future because they've got such potential.
Yeah.
Like we've seen that they've absolutely dominated times in the first round.
Yeah, I think if they could have just cleaned up some of that parkouring skills of theirs, they would have been able to take it. So the Jinx has also finished now officially. So that then means that we have the Wizards moving on to the semi-finals.
It looks like his
As
team is
well.
still struggling to get through the maze, but the front runners seem to
Is
have taken the
there.
victory for them in this
So,
case.
well, we've got a timestamp on the perfect Jinx's completing time, and it's 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's still pretty good. That's
That's
better than the
still
previous
very
teams
good.
that we saw.
But
Yeah,
that to me is communication that's running through there as well.
for sure.
So I mean that was a very good
Very
run.
good run. Unfortunate a bit on the parkour. I mean, it does take out the best of everyone.
Yeah.
One step too far and you're falling down. If you misjudge it, it's
One step too
over.
short and you're falling down as well.
Exactly, that's
There's a
it is
whole-
difficult.
Whole host of things that sit in there, you know, as a hindrance for it. So, but at least now got our second semi-finalists, the Wizards, as
I believe
well.
so.
So the first semi-final bracket is fully closed
It's
off
complete now.
as well, and that's gonna be a good one as well. Some good teams running through
Powerful teams.
there. Keep kicking it.
Yeah, it's difficult not to kick the mic. It really is. I've done it so many times. Yeah. Okay, I think we. I don't know. It's very difficult to place your bet on a specific team because they're all coming through at different parts so strongly. It's very difficult to pinpoint, a certain skill set that would pull through at the end because of the challenges being so, versatile and different each and every time. It's
Yeah.
very, very difficult to place your bet on someone. I think at this time,
There
It's
isn't a
anyone's
team
game.
that's sitting, and kind of raising their hand as champions across all of the challenges. I think it's going to come down to how quickly can you finish the challenge you're good at as well.
yeah,
Because I think that's going to have a massive impact on it all.
no, for sure, for sure.
And here we go. We've got the Whispering Withers versus the Wizards.
In our second leg, yes, understanding.
That's going to be a good run.
That's
These
for
are the
sure.
same people that completed their group stages with the Whispering Withers at 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and the Wizards themselves at 2 minutes and 57 seconds.
That's very
So
good.
they're close.
They're very, very close.
They are very close. And I mean, if you watch the way that they played through the first ones, they're fairly similar in the way that they approach
the same play
their
style,
challenges as well. We're going to have to see if the Wizards are going to take the same split approach to the main
Yes, this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very interesting.
as well. So we've got the Endermen and the Winning Wizards.
The winning Wizards
The
next
Winning
up.
Wizards
That's going to be great.
coming up
Mm.
next, which is going to be an exciting one. We do have the participants loading into their world, getting ready, obviously, for the third quarterfinals.
They're just jumping
as well.
around in excitement. Let's be honest.
Most definitely jumping around in excitement. It's a good thing they've actually been put into rooms with stuff that they can break.
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, so a room that they can just go and break blocks. Give them something to do while their
Yes. Keep them
nerves get the better of them
That's
leading
great.
up to this.
Hey, that's
as well.
another pro for Minecraft. Ding. Yeah, for sure. I can tell you, I wasn't expecting this at all. Like everyone has that expectation of a team in the start. If you get introduced to them, you're like, yeah, this team is gonna. But yeah, it just proves again, like it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
With their skills being all over the place, the challenges being all over the
I
place.
mean, some of the teams that we watched in the first part of the group stages, I picked a couple in my head that I thought, what, these guys, they performed very well. They're going to be able to take it. And the people that I would never have thought about just took over completely,
Yeah,
and honestly
surprised
set
us.
some of the fastest times that we've had
They surprised
so
us.
far. And I mean, they're actually through to the semi-finals now as well. The way it's moving forward, so you can't put money on anyone at this point in time.
That is true.
It really comes down to how well their team plays
Yeah.
in it at the day as well. So yeah, the participants are
Nice.
joining in
Nice.
currently into the world. We do have confirmation that we
Awesome.
are just waiting for the last couple of stragglers.
Are you tense? Are you like excited about this? I'm spinning with anticipation. Yeah.
I can't wait to see how it's going to run through.
It's gonna be great.
Especially these last two quarterfinals. I mean, there's some fantastic teams running through here. I mean, the winning Wizards have the fastest time
They do.
as well.
They do.
You know, I would like to see how they take up the challenge of the maze
Yeah.
as
Incredible.
well.
2 minutes and 20 seconds for the first stage. It's we never expected that.
Not
Let's
at
be
all.
honest. We didn't
No.
even expect half of that.
No,
That
and
was
I mean
insane.
they've just beaten any and all expectations. I'm hoping they can do the same thing here in the Egyptian dunes as well.
Time-wise, for a speed run, they are the best team. But
Will
I
they
guess-
be able to deal with a more team-based
yes,
environment?
will they be able to overcome the ever so confusing maze that's been set before?
But will they also be able to pick the right button?
Yes, that's the other thing. If there's so many buttons, okay, this is again one of those situations where I would just go and pull all of the levers or press all of the buttons.
I would assign a person a wall, another one a wall, and another one a wall.
Yes,
And you just go and hit every button under
hit
the
every
sun.
button. Yes,
But then again, I would probably be one of the people that would end up in the lava.
yes.
100%
I think
would
I
have
would
been in
be
the lava.
swimming right beside you in the lava. I'm not great, particularly at the parkour. I mean, I have played Minecraft before, but yeah, it's difficult. I think the students are definitely proving a point here today. They really are doing exceptionally well, and we can see that they do take the time to practice.
Most definitely.
Put the
And I
effort in.
think some of them did go back to the drawing board, spent some time during the intermission, actually just chatted with their team members to figure out what needs to kind of be done. How do they want to tackle this stuff
Yeah,
going forward as well?
they definitely had a locker room moment. Some motivational speeches going on. You know, that would be me. I think typically I would be the team leader trying to motivate everyone, but I'm the worst player. So I'll try to motivate everyone else to do exceptionally well. Like, go and
No,
do your thing.
Team sports are a bit of a challenge. I'm normally the type of person that kind of just
We should,
runs
yeah,
it solo.
we should form a team.
See how well that turns out.
We,
I think it'd be good.
we will do alright, I think. Yeah,
I wouldn't challenge half of these teams to a
No, no,
Minecraft
no.
sprint off.
that is for sure.
That wouldn't work. I wouldn't even back myself on that.
We will get wrecked in gaming terms, for sure.
And fairly quickly as well.
We will get wrecked in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, to be exact.
Oh well, I don't even think I would have been able to finish that first one as well. And this second world is difficult. It is difficult.
It is true.
But it's part of the competition that we're looking at as well.
Yeah, well, you can really see that the challenges, because they're so different, one of the challenges can really take all of the time. Like, we've seen teams sitting at the same point for, long extended periods of time, struggling with the same challenge. And I think that's what gets you. That's what really steals everything, is having that same problem just being a repetitive problem.
Yeah.
Not getting past that.
No, and I mean you can see the way that this world was designed is it's very much there's a lot of turns along the way, but the overall direction that the students run it's straight.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straight in its in that type of design, but it's interesting how they added all those complex turns along the way.
No, for sure. And I think you don't,
as well.
even though you know the general direction is straightforward through the maze takes weird turns, and you can easily lose your way. Your compass would just freak out, and you don't know where you are.
But I mean, I feel like the size of certain of the elements as well creates that you don't know where to go. I mean, if you're standing just outside of a pyramid as well, you don't get to see much.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You see a pyramid. If you're looking at the pyramid, that's the only thing you see. So
That is very
you
true.
don't get to kind of judge the overall direction
And
of,
wander off, yeah. I guess
of
if
it all.
if you haven't seen the map yet, you've got no idea. It could go underground and take a massive left. You
Yeah.
never know.
And you would have just felt like it's going the way it's going.
It's going the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, again, props to the creators. I think this takes a lot of time to put these worlds together,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
trying to figure out, what would be possible but still difficult. And then also, I think the most difficult part would be making these challenges increasingly more difficult.
But
would be
having
also a
it
challenge.
end at a point, where they can still complete it
Mm.
as well. I mean, it's a fine line that you're going to have to walk
Mm.
in terms of getting that world to the point where it's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Not impossible. Yeah.
And I think they've gotten it. I mean, every team up until now has completed it. Yeah, they've done it a lot slower than what they did the group stages, but I don't think that it's necessarily as much a result of the world as what it is their own communication as a team. I personally think that is a massive thing within it, because the parkour hasn't really stumped too many people.
They
In
fall
this
off a lot,
one,
but
they've
they
fallen
get through it
off a
eventually.
bit, but it's not like the maze that they've spent forever going down wrong exit holes.
Wrong exits. I think
As
that's
well.
that's something that's very very important. Again, circling back to communication. If the first player falls off of a fake exit, you'd kind of want to warn your team and say, guys, this is a fake exit.
You don't want to
Okay.
go down here.
Yes.
But I mean, what they
Please
also
don't.
could have done is just have the different team members split up,
Mm.
run, and if you hit certain areas, don't proceed forward.
Somebody's gonna get there,
Yeah.
Like you could also try that,
Well, I mean, that's the approach that the Wizards took in their
and it worked for them.
previous game, and it worked very
It
well
actually
for
worked
them.
for them. The team didn't, it took quite a while to get to the end as well. Apart from the team leader at the front, but hey, if you the first one on the pressure plate, you secure that win for your team. That's what counts.
Yeah, no, 100%. And just a final recap on the standings before we jump into the third quarterfinals. We have the Endermen versus the winning Wizards. It's going to be a very interesting game that we're going to be able to see here.
Most certainly, and anything can happen. I mean, as we've seen before, we've got unfortunately very powerful teams falling out of the slots just because of minor mistakes. So anything can really happen. But yeah, anticipations are high, for sure.
And I couldn't agree with you more. And if you had to ask me which team between these two I would put my money on or
Yeah.
back,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to give
you
you one.
wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah,
No, I wouldn't.
I agree. with you.
Because they were so good at different aspects of it as
No,
well.
but they both of them had brilliant times. With that being said, we've only seen their skill set on parkour and the combination lock and maybe a small jelly
Yeah.
jump, but we haven't seen them in a maze. We haven't seen them in
Your bigger
the
challenges,
bigger
at
challenges.
this point.
Yeah,
So it'd be good to see
completely
how they perform under that environment as well.
under pressure.
So we will be loading into the world for the
Ooh.
Endermen versus the winning Wizards as well. And the teams are loose.
They're also jumping
And
downstairs
they're leaping down the stairs,
hastily.
taking damage as much as they want.
I see the player at the back is a bit slow. Maybe
Yeah.
didn't get the jumping memo.
Struggling to catch up with their team. And their team is just going.
This guy is really. He's got a front runner as well. Let's see if
That is motioning. They've got some very interesting skins that
they
have
do. I
placed
just saw
on
that. It's like an Enderman.
a
Well, they are
jersey.
the Enderman, but it's a
Yeah.
cool hoodie. Yes.
Yeah, it's an Enderman hoodie on an Enderman.
Yes, that's interesting.
The Enderception.
Nice. That was good.
The Enderception. And we've got the winning Wizards that have made their way to the second challenge now.
It seems like
See how
both teams have already found the button.
Figure it out.
They just need to cross the line.
Here we are.
It looks like they're doing quite well. They're actually currently in the lead, I believe. regardless of some of them being on fire occasionally.
There's a slight singeing.
Slight
Singeing. But they are moving swiftly to the last part.
There
now.
is a puddle of water,
As
so
well,
they should
yeah.
be okay if they're on fire.
Just give themselves a bit of a drench before they move on
Yes.
as well.
All right, so they've actually moved through that challenge very quickly. They are moving up onto the top of the pyramid.
And they're going to soon be facing the parkour.
The very
challenge.
famous parkour challenge.
It seems the Endermen are having a bit of a difficulty with the lava situation as well. But let's see where the winning wizards, the Endermen have met a fatality within
They
the
unfortunately
lava.
aren't doing too great at this stage, having a bit of a difficulty. Winning Wizards taking a nice leap at the lead, heading into the parkour. Let's see how their skills match to the Egyptian Dune parkour challenge.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see how quickly the Endermen can learn from their previous scorching mistakes and get on with it. So they've reached the end. It's now a matter of getting back.
Getting back, yes.
As well.
They do need to press the correct
There we
levers to
go.
help each other over.
And a little bit of teamwork
They've
makes the
got it.
dream work.
Done it. So they have to insert a lever which opens up the next door for them. Let's see. We have the
So-
lever in hand. It's going to be placed.
Should be able to just make your movement. There we
And
go.
they are through. Perfect.
And now the Endermen are making a swift movement towards the parkour stage.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't do too badly. They
They actually did really well with the previous
Yeah.
parkour challenges. I
As
see
well.
they're also struggling with that. I think the teams are accidentally knocking down one of the ladders.
Yep, you can see
There we go.
it is. Again, I think it's part of the excitement of as they're going up, they're clicking in haste and not paying attention to what they can and
Yes.
cannot break of it all.
All right, so the teams are now heading down to the parkour section. Well, the Enderman team are heading down.
Let's see how quickly they'd be able to make their way through.
We have seen very strong parkour skills from them. I don't think they're going to struggle too much, if I'm being honest with you. I think they're going to do pretty well.
Oh, well, let's have a look because I think they did well in their first run. Their second run was significantly better, but their first run they were a bit slow off of the bat.
But that's the thing, like
With it.
they're doing it for the first time. They don't know exactly what to expect, and that's
Yeah.
exactly the case here. They don't know what to expect with these challenges, so it's the first time. They're gonna have to wing it, as they say.
And we've just been confirmed that the Wizards have made it through to the maze.
They've actually made it through the first part of the maze, as far as I've heard. That's
so
actually
they're
pretty
doing
good.
very well. Which is unfortunate that we're struggling getting video footage of that. But they are in the maze.
They are having a massive lead on the Enderman at this stage. They are they're actually doing quite well, but they keep on falling at the same place. Unfortunately, the Enderman doesn't look too good for them. They're gonna have to crack the parkour code. You're unable to progress.
They are taking quite some time to get through this as well.
We've actually
And
got the winning
Wizards
Wow,
have made it to the end.
that was an
And
incredible time.
that was a phenomenal time.
Very, very
4
impressive.
minutes and 45 seconds. That is an
Sheesh.
excellent run.
Jeez, that is impressive. That's the best one we've seen so far.
100%.
Well, the best one we've heard from so far. But yeah, they actually just flew through the maze, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Said it before, I'll say it again. They are determined to live up to their name.
Of course. Yeah, sure. Winning Wizards, who would have thought? They are doing exceptionally well.
They are. Just waiting on, obviously, the remainder of the teammates.
Okay.
But she has made it to the end for victory.
Yeah, they actually
the round.
stuck somewhere inside the maze. I think we are searching for them correctly.
I think maybe by the looks of it, the Winning Wizards also took the split approach
Oh, definitely.
to it as
The
well.
divide and conquer approach.
Now, my only thing would be is if you're looking at the maze, that split approach only really works if you know it's the last challenge.
That is true. That is true. You would know. Wouldn't know. Um, so I think they just took the chance and it came.
Yeah.
It came out in a positive way for them at the end.
Yeah, because I mean, if you've got a group challenge sitting just after the maze, the winning wizards would actually be stuck because they wouldn't have their full complement there
That is true.
either.
That is true. So the
We,
Endermen are
we've
unfortunately struggling still a bit within the parkour section. Yo, I don't know. Do you think they're going to be able to pull it through?
I really don't know at this point in time. I'm hoping the Endermen can pull something out to try and complete this in the time frame. We just had confirmation that both the winning wizards and the wizards have the exact same
Finishing time.
4 minutes and 45 seconds. That's impressive.
Most interesting.
That is very interesting as well. The Endermen can't seem to be getting past the parkour
I think they are really struggling with it.
set at the moment as well. Yeah, so we need to see how they can actually get through the challenge before the 15 minutes.
Do we think they're
limit.
going to make it? They still have some time left, but they're going to have to pace. It looks like one of the players are just stopping and staring at the challenge at hand.
Daunted by what is going on.
Yeah, it's
At
an
the moment.
intimidating challenge for sure.
Apologies for the silence. We just needed to wait for a lightning alarm to pass by with the change in weather.
Yeah, it is looking.
Just had a very loud notification of potential lightning
Do
coming
you think?
on.
Do you think it's Zeus? Do you think it's Zeus?
I don't know. I think it could be Zeus, especially considering how fast the teams went through his world.
Zeus is
Feel
not. Zeus is
slightly
impressed.
insulted.
Yeah, I think. So. Oh, you think he's not impressed?
I would have been slightly insulted because his world's not.
It's a speed run. It's a lightning
I
round.
mean, I guess
It's a lightning round.
it's a lightning round. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So the Endermen are still struggling to finish this within the 15 minutes as well, and they just seem to be stuck at the parkour
They're not getting
as
through that,
well,
unfortunately.
and they've got a 5-minute time frame left
Yeah.
to get out of there and through the maze.
So if too much time is spent on the parkour, the switch does activate, allowing the team to go through to the next challenge, as they've already taken up the max amount of time for that challenge. Unfortunately, it is not in their favour at this stage, of course, because they took a lot of time with that
To
challenge.
try and get through it.
But they could still get a qualifying time. We're gonna have to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get through the.
But by the looks of it, it's the winning wizards that will take the spot in the semi-finals between these two teams at the moment.
Well, any time can be improved on. Maybe this serves as a nice, lesson or something that they can improve on next time for sure.
But at least they can complete it, and I think that's a big confidence booster for your teams as long as you finish, even if it's longer than what the opposing team is.
So yeah,
Completing really comes as a vital point.
I think we do like I said, the times are important for them, so they can still get a qualifying time, because at the end of the day, that's something they reflect back on, and these worlds will be available for them to practice on. Just for the specific challenges, of course. Even though the next eSports challenges might look different, they'll have the same sort of challenges. So yeah, it's good preparation.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I'm interested to see how they're taking this approach to the maze. as well.
Hmm. Yeah, they're still struggling to get through it. It appears. Down.
As well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't a
so
good run,
we need to have
unfortunately.
a look at how the different teams are going to advance going forward into
Definitely.
your semi-finals now. So yeah, it looks like that is the end of the third
Yeah.
qualifiers.
Unfortunately,
Well,
that
qualifying.
took quite a turn, to be honest. Like I wasn't expecting the Endermen to struggle like that in
That,
parkour.
especially with the parkour section.
They did really well the first time around. It was surprising to see, but unfortunately, those mistakes, took them out of the game for the moment.
Yeah,
But we really hope to see them in the upcoming eSports events for sure.
definitely.
Very strong team.
I would love to see all of the team members that participated today in those upcoming tournaments again because it's really going to make them competitive. I mean, it was an absolutely exciting group stage that we had.
Yeah, it's been incredible.
And so far, we've had some surprising turnarounds within your quarterfinals leading into your semis.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the results so far. But again, yeah, it's very unpredictable. But it's true. We would love to see these teams battle it out again. But next time the challenge is going to be completely different as well. So there's going to be different skills at hand. Maybe the builders will get a chance to push through and have the victory.
And as we can see, we have an updated standings list. We have the winning Wizards taking the third final slot for the semi-finals. We now have the final quarterfinals coming up. The Gamer Level versus Blockbusters as well. These are going to be interesting run-throughs as well. Gamer Level we have not seen as of yet either. Very much like the Whispering Withers that have already taken their slot. So that might be another
underdog team that we haven't seen.
Underdog team that we haven't seen that's just going to come and pinch a semi-final position at this point in time.
We're going to have to wait and see as the tension builds.
100%. And I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening in those semi-finals leading up to the final itself. And who's going to take the win at the end?
The win at the end, yeah. I want to play. I'm actually getting quite excited now.
No,
yeah,
I feel like a gaming session is
due very soon. We'll have a LAN. do people do LANs still?
Is that still a thing?
Isn't it WANing now? We're WANing. These players are WANing.
Well, you're actually not right. This is WANing.
This is WANing. And we'll see who will WAN at the end. Sorry, I did miss my coffee, unfortunately. Still.
No, likewise. We weren't able to get that.
There wasn't time.
Injection.
We'll get it next time. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, we were so busy discussing how well the teams did on their times that we just forgot about it.
Yeah, the production team is probably having nice coffees and snacks and stuff. We're sitting here with. I forgot my water. Oh, that's brilliant.
So.
Yeah, it's gonna be horrible.
Bad planning heading in.
Yes, my preparation was
stages terrible. That we have. So we've got the Gamer Level versus the Blockbusters coming up very soon.
Very soon.
They are loading the teams again into the world. It is the benefit of an online tournament is the fact that there is actually no limitations in terms of access either. The 5 participating schools are from very different areas. Yeah. Completely. And the hosting school either is a completely online school as well.
I've seen that. It's really impressive.
It's very interesting to see how you can make use of gamification, gameplay, without any limitations
for sure.
On where you have to be to partake as well.
So one thing that we did realize with the previous challenges basically is that you do need to conserve your HP. It's basically the hearts that pop
Yeah.
up underneath. So what happens is, and this is across all the teams, of course. So as they are running through the challenges and they take damage, so when they fall down
Yeah.
or burn or something,
So like when they start doing the running, jumping straight
jumping
out
down the
of
stairs, they
bat.
take a hit, and what happens is you have a stamina bar, which is essentially your energy.
Yeah.
If you run out of, if you take too many hits, it starts taking from that food limit that you've got, the energy, and the more hits you take, the less capabilities you have in terms of sprinting and jumping. So one of the major mistakes that has been made, and we can see it being made by the previous team especially, is
Yeah.
running and jumping
It might have been
and just
the
being
detriment
oblivious
of
to it.
Enderman.
Yeah, it takes away from your capabilities.
Yeah.
Your agility gets dumbed down, and that's a reality for all of the players. So
Well, I
that
mean,
you need to
that's
watch
just
that.
another aspect that they have to keep
Mm.
taking into account as well.
And
you know?
this is something that has been there from the beginning of Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's core Minecraft logic, if you will.
Yeah, but I feel like it's replicated throughout a majority of your other esports based games as well that you're looking at. There's either shields or health or some form of aspect that you have to eat through, and if you do, you are negatively
Yeah.
impacted for it.
You're gonna have to make decisions based on that. So,
Yeah.
are you gonna take the risk of jumping to gain, further ahead, travel more distance, and perhaps take that damage, which will then obviously not be beneficial later on, or are you gonna conserve that
and try and keep it for the last sprints?
Try and keep that for the last sprints. Yeah, very important. I think that's also why the Enderman struggled a bit, as
Yeah,
they
they
did not
depleted it
have
right in the
any
beginning.
energy left. Yeah, that is
Especially
very
with
important.
the first challenge and the lava.
Not for sure.
I think that that was really a big difficulty for them as well.
Beautiful view of the Egyptian dunes again. Such a wonderful drone field of view that we've got here.
Yeah, a fantastic panoramic shot of what's actually involved within this world.
You can
as
see there's
whole.
a lot of attention to detail. Like there's really a lot put into the world. Not just a simple pathway again, but there's scenery to it. There's depth to it. There's things happening. And I really do think that at the end of the day, the students or participants rather really enjoy running through these worlds if they've got something incredible to look at as well.
Well, I love the incorporation of all the flowing water in between, the dry desert.
Oh yeah,
Such a beautiful contrast that's been made.
It almost implies
it
that
all.
I'm just going to talk into a story here, but it almost implies that they were wealthy Egyptians because they have water and trees within the civilization.
Yeah, they were almost in an oasis, if you will.
Yeah.
Very much so. We can see some of the students as we hand over some of the participants already in the world, just waiting on the final one or two
Jumping
to
around.
get on as well.
Look at that. It's such a massive structure too, eh?
Yeah, this world is home to some huge
structures
aspects as well.
for sure.
And there is a significant amount of water that is being poured out there.
Definitely. It's still pouring out. There's an infinite amount of water inside those kegs for sure.
And I mean, you also have the best guard dog that you can have.
3 of them.
You have
fact.
3 of the best guard dogs.
A Nubai. Standing guard. Brilliant.
As well.
It's such a creative world actually.
Yeah.
It's very well put out.
Excited to see the final challenges that they get to play in up until the finals and how they really take those on. Because if there's been such a drastic change in terms of what it looks like between the first world and the second world,
it's going to be
only imagine what it's going to be like.
Completely different in the third one, for sure. I'm excited to see that.
100%.
Nordic. I've always been intrigued by Norse mythology.
the Norse mythology.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very, very interesting to me, and I'm really hoping that they brought some of those aspects into it.
Oh, I mean, we can only wait and
Wait
see
and see.
as well.
Of course.
But your Norse mythology is actually very similar in a lot of aspects to what your Greek mythology is.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like your structures, I mean, the actual. Whole
The
thing is,
storylines might be different, yeah.
Yeah, very, very different. But I mean, I guess you'll find similarities in. almost
Zeus has lightning,
everything.
Thor has lightning. It's very similar.
There's lightning correspondence
That is the
As well.
the link. That's the connection for sure.
for it. So yeah, just as a confirmation, we are just waiting on those last 1 or 2 students just to get on. We do have our world admins currently pulling them in and trying to carousel them together so that we can get the final quarterfinals on the way.
It's getting so close to the finals.
So close
I cannot wait.
as well. And then I'm really eager to see what they will be able to pull out, especially these final teams as well.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I had expectations for some strong teams, but so far everyone has been brilliant. Everyone has really been doing above and beyond what we've expected. So it's such a good spirit and such a good, gaming community to be a part of. Players really pushing the boundaries and doing what they can do. It's been great so far, and I'm just super psyched for the finals. Super psyched.
I'm just also very excited to see how this community grows next year and just booms forward. I mean, we've seen the excitement that the students and participants have had for this tournament, and I mean it was in a very short period of time that they brought the attraction to it.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you have a number of these tournaments running the whole time, and you start generating that push flow. I think you're going to have one amazing community built around it.
That is true.
Well.
We're going to see a lot of creators as well. I mean, it's not just playing the game, it's also about creating the game. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't take an expert per se to just create, something in Minecraft. It starts at any level. So yes, there is no limitations to that.
No, and I think we're going to see a lot of people coming out and putting their hands up for different roles within eSports as well. Because I mean, you've got your creators, you've got your casters, you've got your production team members. I mean, there's a whole host of careers that are associated with this. So that community is going to be huge as well.
That's very true. I mean, and there's actual careers being built out of it, like especially with the eSports side of it. Esports being a very big thing globally. I can definitely see a couple of students asking a bit more about that. I think it's very, very interesting.
Yeah. We do have the upcoming game coming in less than a minute.
Less than a minute?
Less than a minute.
So close.
No, the anticipation is.
I cannot wait anymore.
Too long.
I think we're going to have to sit still with all of my excitement. How frustrating that is. I really want to see it.
And we've got Gamer Level versus Blockbusters. I want to see what Gamer Level can bring out, considering we haven't actually had any view of their performance yet.
Okay.
As well. Maybe they come in and just overhaul the whole thing.
Okay. And I think we are ready to begin.
Yeah.
So much excitement.
And here we go.
Teams are ready behind the gates and they're off. It looks like the one team is a bit preoccupied, but they are ready to start.
They're going to have to do a
I see they are not jumping down. We have a couple jumping down the stairs. I think that's where most of the hits come from.
First damage from there.
Lots of your first hits come from.
And then that with your lava as well, it's not a friendly problem to have.
It's a hostile environment. They have to be careful. They really have to be careful with their stamina and their food as well, because this is a much bigger maze, so there's a lot more running to it, a lot more energy to conserve.
Well, here we've got Gamer Level making their pathway to the first challenge.
The Find the Button challenge.
Find the button.
Let's see if they can find the button. Blockbusters are already at it, busy pressing all of the possible buttons.
Off of the hat.
They're just spamming at it. It's brilliant. And they've gone through, Blockbusters have found the button.
as well. Now we need to see if they can do the communication without landing in the lava.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna need to do
They've
some
overjumped
teamwork.
it.
They're gonna need to do some teamwork. They should be very careful not to deactivate the platform while
And
they've-
have the partner fall
and
in
while the
lava.
partners are on it. Yes, that's correct. Gamer level is currently at the same section of the
So
challenge.
it is still very close. Oh, gamer level is leading team.
But they are
members
learning the hard way that lava.
at the moment.
Oh, it looks like Blockbusters might have found the lever already, and they through. Blockbusters are excelling. They're really putting up a good time here as well.
No, definitely.
We're seeing that same energy that we saw from them in the first round. Ah, there we go.
There we go.
First two are through. Blockbusters getting a really good run.
But it seems like some of the teams aren't making use of the elements that are around them, like the water that's flowing and everything like that. It's just not coming in. You know, like the parkour section when they actually fill that whole thing up with water.
Yeah, they should be
Many of
using
them
that.
sit and don't do anything, and I mean, there's a couple of areas as well.
Yeah, and every second counts. It really does. At the end of the day, you can get that massive lead on the opponent by just paying attention to small stuff like that.
Yeah, well, we've got the Blockbusters currently on the parkour section, and they're just falling every time.
And they're not doing bad considering.
No,
And we got gamer level now
which has
following
moved
through.
on as well, with a ladder in hand.
Ah, there we go. I think all the teams keep on knocking ladders at that side.
Down. Now we need to see how they will be able to deal with the parkour stage.
Indeed, we will. It looks like Blockbusters are still struggling a bit. They're not quite getting past the halfway mark in the
No.
parkour.
We need to see if game level might be able to catch up and surpass them.
Yeah, who does the better parkour at the end of the day?
But the big challenge is coming up soon.
Oh yes, of course. With the you're talking about the maze.
The maze. It
The
is coming
maze.
up soon as well.
The maze takes no prisoners. Well, that's why I said I don't like mazes, and I don't think after today's expedition, some of these students like mazes.
No, I think they're going to be mazed out.
They're gonna be messed up.
They're going to be mazed out at the end of this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
100%. I'm excited to see what they can do. Blockbusters is just not being able to.
Yeah, they're having a
Get
hard time,
past
but
this.
we've seen this before. Hardcore, the parkour is hardcore parkour.
Yeah.
It really is difficult. Like they are struggling to get even to the halfway mark.
Need to see how they. But it's as if they can't just get on the platform. It's over jumping it every time as well.
It's over jumping it every time.
Now
that's
we've
correct.
got game level that's also having a difficult time with the parkour
Sure.
as well.
But it is in essence a difficult thing, man. You don't have a lot of surface to stand on. By the
No.
looks of it, these are like single blocks everywhere. So you really have to time your jumps. Not over jumping it, not jumping too early is very important. They are just not getting it.
And part of the issue is every time they do this, they injure themselves.
Yeah, if they do fall on anything but the water from the top, they do take damage, and it affects their ability to sprint
Move
and use their
faster
energy. That's
as
correct.
well.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like any one team is taking the lead with the parkour as of yet either.
They might fly through the maze, so we'll have to just
Maybe
wait
and
and
make
see
up
what
the time.
happens.
As well. We just need to remember that, I mean, obviously this world is made more difficult as well. But as you mentioned, there after a certain period of time, the water levels
Yes.
will just rise.
If they do not succeed, we're actually getting dangerously close for gamer level to actually pull the lever, and they've done it. They've opened it up for their team. They're actually through.
Fantastic, well done.
They get to go to the maze. Blockbusters,
So-
unfortunately, falling behind as they are still struggling in the parkour challenge.
They are not getting through it at the moment. And we've got gamer level now making it into the maze. It'll be
In the
interesting to
maze
see
section.
what they do to get through this as well.
Oh, they are in the maze trying to find their way out.
Hopefully they don't meet a couple of
The fake
dead
exits. Or the fake
as
exits.
well. But it looks like they're taking a decent pathway.
Yeah, these
As
pods are
well.
randomized each map, so it changes every single time a new team enters.
As well. But it seems like it's very much a rush forward
And
approach
they've
that
done
they've
it.
done, but it's
Gamer
worked.
level pulls through and
Ex-
takes the win.
Gamer level has completed
And all
the challenge.
well, three of them I might add. They've been doing really well. The full team worked together, and they actually all three made it at the end.
Now,
Brilliant.
so we now officially have our full bracket for our semi-finals
That's correct.
coming up.
That's correct. We've got that set up.
Blockbusters just needs to try and finish within the allotted time, because as we said, it's still important to finish within your qualifying
We need that
time.
frame of reference. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
You
mean,
just see
it doesn't
what
end here. This is the first one.
Yeah.
It goes on.
It's only going to build
Yeah.
going forward as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did struggle a bit on the parkour. That did take them. It took a lot of their time, unfortunately, which was heartbreaking to see, as they were again a very powerful team that we saw in the previous challenges.
No, 100% agree with you on that. But it was good to see how game level picked it up so quickly after the first struggle
Mhm.
for a large part with the parkour stage as well. The maze didn't pose much of a challenge to
Not
them
at all.
at all.
Different strengths and weaknesses. You can definitely see that. It's evident with all the teams participating today. Yeah, the gamer level actually did exceptionally well. I think they also put up a rather, they put up a very good time. They really did,
Yeah.
as opposed to the other teams. That's actually one of the best times we saw. Yeah, no
And
mistaken.
I honestly thought at a point in time they had hit a big barrier with that parkour stage.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good
As
for any
well,
of the two
no,
teams. It wasn't looking
neither.
good.
Neither of your blockbusters or your gamer level. So we've got two teams sitting within the semi-finals that were in your second stream of rounds. It's going through. So these are two teams that we've only seen for the first time in the quarterfinals as well.
Sure.
The blockbusters are still struggling to get through, and they're almost hitting that 10-minute mark as well.
Yeah, they're still stuck in the maze apparently.
Yeah. That maze seems to be a massive struggle.
I believe there's only 4.5 minutes left for them until their time expires, and we will be
For them to
moving
try
on.
and complete it.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder if gamer level knew exactly which way to go, if it was a luck chance, because they were moving forward
They were
with
moving.
so much confidence.
That is true. And I love their skins as well. They did it in style too.
Yeah,
Well done for those skins.
very much. So
And those are custom made skins.
custom designed.
Custom designed. Yeah. They don't come standard with the game. These are skins that the players
Went and created themselves.
went
I mean,
and
that shows
created and imported.
dedication to the game itself.
Oh yeah.
You know? And almost every team, I don't think I've seen a team up until now that hasn't done a custom skin, which
Yeah.
shows the complete
Majority of them.
dedication to the game and how much these players really are attached to Minecraft.
Yeah, but they are the chosen ones in their schools,
Yeah,
when they get notified of the event, they take their most Minecraft enthusiastic players and they pull them
Put
into
them
a team.
forward.
Yeah, let them participate.
it seems like the blockbusters are making motion towards the final stretch of the
Of
maze.
the maze, almost done.
Of the maze. So they should qualify within the 15 minutes.
They did just finish
Unfortunately, they will not move onto the into the
into
semi-finals,
the semi-finals.
but they have met the maximum allotted time, and I mean that's
They
an
have.
achievement unto
It's an
its own
achievement for sure. Yeah.
as well.
You have conquered the Egyptian dunes in essence.
As
So
well.
that is an award in itself.
And the blockbusters have completed in a final time stop of 11 minutes as well, with the gaming levels taking the victory of the final quarterfinals as well.
Moving on to the
For today.
semi-finals, is it?
Moving on to the semi-finals.
So close, so close.
We
Wow.
are 3 games away.
3 games away from
Three
that
games away
victory.
from knowing who
Sure.
is going to stand on top
On top. Best Minecraft education
for the
player.
whole thing as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Very excited to see who's going to take this this position, because we've got 4 very tightly close and competitive teams
Yeah.
that are going to play.
And we could see that from the start that it's going to be a very close matchup. Like all of the teams are putting a lot of effort. All of them are running through it, trying their best, and they got good times out of the first round. So yeah, we knew it's going to come down to this. We knew it's going to come down to a very tight matchup at the end of the day.
And we're immediately going to move into our last world as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. For the
For it
semifinals.
also. So going to be a good look as it all.
The Nordic.
So we just got an announcement passed on to us, a confirmation that there was a error made on the call for the win between the Whispering Withers and the Ocelots. The winner was actually the Ocelots.
Axolots.
They had just taken it as well. So it's actually the Ocelots that will be joining us in the semis,
All right.
and not the Withering Withers.
Withering Withers. That's quite
Whispering Withers. My
Whispering.
apologies. Whispering
That's quite a
Withers as
tongue
well.
twister.
It is.
Yeah, I think the lack of
Mm.
coffee is getting to.
It's one of those where
Yes.
you dare someone to say it 3 times fast and see
Yes.
how it goes.
Okay, I won't
No,
ask
I'm
you
not
to
going
do
to
it.
either.
But yeah, it is quite.
I messed it up saying it once. Trying to do it 3 times fast is not going to get
But
any.
it does say quite nicely though. Like it does.
Yeah, but that's
it's
what I'm saying. It's a
alliteration.
haunting name.
Yeah.
It's a haunting name as well.
Whispering Withers. I do love the skins though. They really looked uniform, but they had different colors, which was really impressive. If there were an
Proper
award
matching.
for the skins, I'd probably personally go to Whispering Withers. They really had great skins.
Oh, I mean, it was proper coordination on the way that you're going to look and everything like that. I thought it was very,
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 very
well
cool.
done as
Yeah.
well.
We should do a best costume as well. I mean, that it takes skill to a certain level to create these skins as well.
So we now have our semi-finals. We have the Ocelots versus the Wizards for the first semi-finals, and then we have the winning Wizards versus Gamer Level
Ooh, this is going to be
as well.
tight.
This is going to be a close one, and this one is now going to partake on the Nordic Raids.
Nordic Raids. The first time we're going to be seeing this map as well.
This is the first time we are going to see these maps as well.
Oh, it's going to be great. I hope we get to see Thor.
I'm very excited to see what we're going to be able to pull out between them.
Yeah,
Or
for sure.
as
But this
well.
is where it all comes together. This is where it happens. Pushing into those final 2 slots for the finals. That's where the tension builds up. I mean,
So we're just going to take a 5-minute break while we wait for the new world to be loaded on, and all of the students onboarded as well. So we will be back in 5 minutes for the semi-finals and then run straight into the finals as well.
perfect.
Fantastic.
Be right back
Yeah,
for the semi-finals.
as well. So it actually seems that they have been able to do the world a lot faster than what we had anticipated.
Hence the awkward
As-
moment we just had.
Waiting for it, but they've moved on. So we will then
Yeah.
carry on and wait for the semi-finals itself. The joint codes and everything have been passed on to the teams, so they'll be loading in shortly as well. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in this Nordic raids. I don't know what to expect.
It's going to be great. I think it's going to be cool. I mean, it is the map for the semi-finals and finals, so we might see some fresh, new, interesting concepts.
I think it might be very different, but I mean, then again, every world that the students have, or the teams have played in thus far, have been extremely unique.
They have
I
been.
mean, what type of map do you get to speed race with Zeus standing at the forefront
get
and zapping you with lightning? For
I would be honored
failure?
if Zeus struck me with lightning. To be honest with you,
It's a privilege.
it's a privilege, of course,
It is a privilege
for sure. I mean, it's Zeus.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. If he ever existed, but it's yeah. Mythology.
We're going to have to see how this all pans out. Again, the teams are very, very interesting with who's going to be coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tight. I think. Yeah, like we said so many times during this event, like, and I can't stress this enough. They are really doing well. Like, considering they've been challenged with different obstacles, and they've just been doing it. They've been red pointing it. We haven't had any teams that did not finish necessarily. All of them were able to do the challenges at hand. So I think that goes to show that they really are prepared and they're in it to win it. And now as the challenge tapers down to the final three, it gets difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, because you have the top ranking players, and now there have been a display of a lot of different skills already being tested amongst the players. So it really narrows down, and it gets really tough from here on out.
And it looks like there's been a clear focus from the development of these worlds that, the challenges are similar. I mean, we could see that between, the levers and the switches and stuff like that was appeared in here. But like the maze was a new one completely. That wasn't in the first challenge as well. The first challenge had the jelly jumping.
The jelly jump.
The jelly jump, which the Egyptian dunes has not had. So there are clearly some challenges that don't follow through all of them as well. But it'd be interesting to see if the final map doesn't incorporate most of the challenges
It
from
could
both.
be a mixture from both. It could
That would be
something
an interesting take on it as well.
Yeah.
Whether
Excited.
that's the move for it as well.
And Thor. We might see Thor.
There
Do I come
might be a
across as
possibility,
a
is it?
Thor fan?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's pretty cool. I like the hammer.
The hammer takes the one.
Do you know what the hammer's name is?
I can't pronounce it.
Mjolnir. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
I'm just saying it right.
Yeah. I know how to spell it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
like
a
MJ, it's
pronunciation.
weird.
I feel like I will do it disjustice
Yeah.
trying to pronounce it.
No,
Doesn't work.
Right. And that's MJO. Like
Yeah.
That word.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Oh, I don't know.
That one.
There we go. So we finally got we understand. It's going to be quite interesting if Thor does not appear and we have
Yeah, we had
spoken,
this whole conversation about him, and then that doesn't appear.
and his hammer. No.
Damn it!
But might actually see something along the sides of more your Vikings more than seeing the gods.
I'm
Like
expecting
with the
that.
other
I mean,
worlds
there's the
and stuff.
Nordic raids. I mean,
Yeah.
it resonates. It speaks of Vikings.
No. So we're going to have to see what's coming out.
It's not in Valhalla by any chance, is it?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't
That
know.
would
I
be
know as
pretty
much
cool
as
as
what you
well.
do. Apparently,
Valhalla. Or Asgard.
Asgard.
We could do Asgard.
Asgard.
be
That would be
pretty
an
bad.
interesting one as well.
Huh. We'll just have to wait and see what the developers have in store for us.
100%. And we now have the Ocelots versus the Wizards.
Sure.
The Wizards currently are the no, it's not the Wizards, it's the winning Wizards. It's got the fastest time for your group stages as well.
Oh, look at that.
Through it. And here we get to see the
Nordic Race World.
first look at the map.
Yes, look at that.
That the participants will be challenging through. Makes you wonder where the actual challenges are going to take place.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort being put into this world. Wow, that looks incredible.
It's cool to see the complete differences in approach between
To
the worlds
every single
that
world,
need to go in. Yeah. And I think that plays on with the students.
For sure.
All the participants, they need to take a different approach to each world.
That is true.
As well.
All three of the worlds were floating.
Yeah.
That I realized. So they were floating islands. So there is a theme that resonates, but yeah, the design is completely different. It's a whole unique take on things as well.
On the whole look at it. We've got full-fledged Viking ships.
You were right about that. There's a lot of. This is definitely a Viking village rather than something. I don't see Thor. I'm quite disappointed.
I mean, on the upside, we do have giant statues of Vikings.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Look at that. That's really
there
nice.
are giant statues of Vikings. So, but unfortunately, no Thor.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's okay. We'll see him next time, hopefully.
Hopefully, next time when we do another one, we'd be able to get the developers to put some more statues of Thor down for you.
Oh, if they do a Nordic one again, yeah, I'd like to see Thor. Please.
But it's quite an interesting map, and you can already see the participants moving through it. And it looks like there's a very clear pathway with the different lights that's on at the moment.
Yes, I don't think that this is part of the actual challenge. This is just the introductory run to the semi-final starting range. So this would be the actual.
We actually have a name of it: the Lessons of Odin.
The Lessons of Odin. All right, it gets interesting.
That's what
it gets interesting.
So it's not Thor, but it is
Odin. I'll take it. But
it is Odin. And I mean, we could see the fantastic redstone work sitting there.
Yes, there was some redstone involved.
Backside again. Obviously, with redstone being a fundamental part on how many of these builds and challenges have been built.
For sure. Oh, it looks so cozy. I wouldn't mind staying in a village like that.
Neither would I. I feel like there would be a lot of raiding though.
A lot of raiding.
Which might be tiresome after a period of time, you understand?
Something tells me you watch a lot of Viking movies.
Something like that.
You like the Vikings. Our observer has ventured into one of the houses.
Yeah. But I mean, there's even cobwebs being put up in what seems to be a storage house.
A storage house.
A storage house as well.
Attention to detail from the creator. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't even worry about...
to see what all the worlds have been put into it as well.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even worry about the interior, as you know, the students isn't even seeing the buildings on the inside per se, but it's even there. Like that's the amount of dedication and effort that the creator put it in. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I think the fantastic part about all of these worlds is that after this, the students would actually be able to go and play through these worlds in their own free time.
Yeah,
you know,
improve on their times as
100%. So these worlds, I think the attention to detail that was put through from your first world to the end was taking that into account. You know, you're not only going to see this world, you know, over a stream, and students aren't only going to engage in it for a couple of hours during a tournament. It's something that they would be able to use continuously.
Use as a resource after
as
that.
well, which is a fantastic approach to it as well. So we do have the Ocelots and the Wizards that are loaded in. We are just doing the final movements of them to the relevant starting positions.
That's correct.
And then we will get underway with the first semi-finals of
the long-awaited
tournament as well.
The long-awaited.
Which is fantastic.
I can't wait to see what the challenges are there. It's going to be great.
So we are going to join into the world and see what needs to go on any second now.
Oh wow, look at that.
And
It
there
looks like
we
another
go.
parkour section. How cool is
And
that?
there is another parkour section that needs to be
Oh,
done.
this time it looks like ice. There's ice involved.
There's ice involved, but there seems to be different avenues taken.
Yeah, it looks like me like there's 3 or 4 different switches to press.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oops.
It's very interesting. It already looks a lot more different to the other worlds. It's almost like a dark mood to it, which is nice.
Yeah. But it's quite interesting to see what their approach is, because they're not struggling as much with the parkour as figuring out what to do with the switches.
That is true. That is true. We can see that.
I don't know. My first approach would be pressing them at the same
There
time,
we go.
which is
Axolots have done just that.
exactly what happened.
They've opened
as
the door
well.
and they are.
And they've moved right past the NPC, giving it a complete ignore. But let's see.
Do you think
how
the
they're
NPC
going
has
to
a
get
crucial
it.
part to play in this specific
I don't know.
challenge?
The NPC might have just given a hint or
A
not
hint through it? That could be.
as
yeah.
well.
We can see this
But
player is
was-
running along without his team.
Yeah, and this is from the Oxalots at
Oxalots.
the moment. The Wizards have made it through.
Yes, and they're
the
also entering into the
map
maze now.
as well. And it seems that it's actually built out of snow.
Is that snow?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Those are snow blocks in
Wow.
Minecraft.
That's a good eye.
Those are snow
It looks like
blocks.
wool.
It actually could be wool as well.
Could be white wool.
Could.
I think
Well,
they're taking the hint. The wizards are actually
the Wizards
taking the hint.
have spoken to the NPC as well to see what's going on.
And we obviously have no indication of what the NPC
The
is
Wizards
actually
have
saying to
immediately
them.
taken a different approach to it all.
Maybe that was the aim of the game. You know, the NPC
Yeah.
might be that crucial, the key factor to completing this maze.
As well. And there they've made it through.
First
the
player has made
maze
it through.
as well.
Going up the ladder.
But leaving team members
Behind,
behind.
that's all right.
Going
We're
to
going
have
to
to
see.
see how this goes as well.
All right.
There
So
we go. So
we've got
the
3
Wizards up
of the
here.
wizards. Is it already through?
Yeah, and it seems to be an option that they need to do as well.
Oh, they're faced with a riddle or a
Yeah,
question.
a conundrum of sorts,
And-
and they answered it perfectly.
Perfectly. Look at that.
And
Moving
they
on.
have been moved up as well.
They're
It
moving
seems
on
that
to
it's
a
a
different
double
maze.
maze. So if you are answering it incorrectly, you would, I presume,
Oh,
go
you'd
to
go
the
to
maze at
the
the bottom
more. Okay.
as well.
Wow. The wizards are really moving.
Yeah, the Wizards
through
are
this,
not wasting time whatsoever.
Well, there's a lot at stake. It's high risk, high reward kind of situation now.
100%. Because we're whoever takes this moves on to the finals.
To finals, exactly.
as
yeah.
well.
Where they're going to have, if I'm not mistaken, be repeating this exact map.
So
for
the
next time.
Oxalots are now actually facing the riddle, the conundrum
Ah, the conundrum. Let's see if I can get the answer right.
as well.
It does seem to be. It looks like it's thinking very hard
Yeah.
over there.
Got 3 options, and I think it's because you don't want to select the wrong one.
You don't want to select the wrong one. The consequences could be dire.
Or at least damage your time so
Oh,
much.
yeah, which we know is
at
very
the
precious
moment
by
as
this.
well. The Oxalots haven't begun yet, but the Wizards are already onto their second maze at this point in time. They're very confused.
Oh dear! It looks like they have chosen the
answered
wrong answer.
The wrong answer at the moment. And the Wizards have already moved on to the last,
Last stage. It's the
Stage.
final stretch.
and it seems to be a ladder. I mean, an archery
Archery.
field
Archery field. Look at that.
at the moment.
And we do get to see some combat skills here. I think that's very exciting. Something we
Yeah.
definitely did not see in any one of the previous games.
And there are mobs. So now we know what the
The wrong answer gets
the
you.
wrong answer gets you.
Awesome.
The Oxalots have to face a maze filled with mobs.
Filled with zombies. That's
Filled with
that's a
zombies.
pretty.
That is a punishment.
That's quite
That
a
is a
setback.
punishment.
That's quite a setback.
Okay, so they are firing away, and there seems to be a ladder that has
Oh,
dropped,
look at that.
but I don't think they've noticed the ladder.
I don't know. Let's
They
see.
have not noticed the ladder that they've dropped. Oh, there we go.
The first one has noticed it on the
And
way
there
up.
we go.
Oh,
We
there
will
we go.
now, might have our first
We
semi-finals
might have
winner,
our winner. This is the final stretch.
blazing right up to the top.
Wizards take the win.
And
Wizards take the win.
Wizards take the win.
Wow. Wow. Are we really?
In a very clean run.
That was a very clean run. I
That
must
was a
say.
very clean run.
That was a very
In
clean run.
5 minutes and 36 seconds.
Very,
That's
very
not bad
nice.
at all. And the Ocelots are still running through, and that's as a result of the wrong answer.
The wrong answer gets. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually. It's such a crucial thing, eh? Have to
As
get
well.
the right answer. So it is important to have somewhat, knowledge, perhaps as well, rather than just some, kick-ass
Yeah.
parkour skills for
So
sure.
there was. I wonder what those questions were.
That would be very interesting to find out.
That'll be very interesting to find out. Maybe we can get them and mention them a bit later on
That would
Possibly.
be that would be great.
as well. So the Ocelots are still making progress through this
They're
maze
still struggling with that maze.
as well. And this is a smaller maze than that.
It is.
which
It is
was,
indeed.
Made available in the Egyptian dunes.
Egyptian dunes. Yeah, that was kind of big
there
maze.
you
though.
have the Wizards, the first team to win the semi-finals, and isn't that a view to have for your
That
victory?
is a beautiful view for a victory. And
For a
they are going to have to
victory.
compete in this very same map. I know that the answers and questions are going to be changed this time around for the finals. So yeah, it's gonna be intense.
But I am excited to see how quick they can motion through the challenge
The second time
again
around.
the second time, especially
Yeah.
considering how quickly they cut down time in the group stages on
Mm.
their second run as well.
Well, the Wizards they really have shown a lot of impressive skills so far in this challenge. I think it's a well deserved slot in the finals
I
for
couldn't
them.
agree with you more. And it seems like there were a lot of good communication that happened and stuff like that. There were times where it seemed like they abandoned one
Yeah,
another.
they were a bit of discord. Yeah.
But I mean, they pulled it together in the end, brilliantly.
Mm.
I might add.
I think the
So
Ocelots are
we've got the
waiting for their team
Ocelots
members.
struggling as well.
They are waiting, and it looks like they do not exactly know where to go at this stage.
No, but you know what it might be? It might be them thinking that they need to hit all three at the same time.
That could be.
That could be it, or that it needs to be hit in a specific order, because we didn't get to see that.
We didn't.
With the Wizards. We didn't get to see whether they shot them all at the same time or if it was in a specific order. And I think that is maybe what the Ocelots are a bit concerned about, because they don't want to make a mistake again.
That is true. So this is another example of communication being such a key factor, as the other team players are still struggling in the maze.
Yeah.
It's so crucial to communicate, to tell one another where they need to go. If one of them found the exit to it.
And it's the same as what was in the previous map. It's your 15-minute allocation slot, and at this point in time I wonder if the Ocelots are going to be able to complete it within that frame.
We're gonna have to see. It does not look very good for them. It
No.
looks like they're scattered at this moment, not communicating, not
Yeah.
knowing where to go.
Because there's just no movement happening
Yeah.
at any point. And it seems like they're indecisive as to the way to move
Yeah.
forward.
Communication really is key in these kinds of challenges.
Very
And
much so.
at this stage, it does not
And
look.
And
Good.
as our hunch was at the beginning, it is right that each of the maps became more focused on teamwork.
Teamwork at the end, yeah, for sure.
100%.
Especially with the mazes. I think it's really, really
So
important.
we've got archery sitting on as well.
You might be able to
And
complete this.
we don't know where the rest of the Ocelot teams are either. I could only wonder what the NPC has to say for this type of
Yeah,
challenge.
I believe they are being moved together.
The Ocelot.
The Oxlots are being moved
So
together
they
currently.
are being grouped together. Let's see if they're able
To finish still, yeah, within the given time.
to finish. Oh, he has hit the glass pane.
Oh, there you go. That's
There
a
we
hit.
go.
That's
And
a hit.
another one that was not fantastic. So it looks like it might only be one successful arrow shot at the moment.
How are they gonna make it?
As well.
They're doing not so great.
And it looks like they're
unfortunately.
wasting arrows at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I know they are being provided arrows. There's only a certain set amount.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to hit that second and third
needs-
switch.
Yeah. The current arrows that's been given, if I'm not mistaken, are limited for a reason
That is true. That is
as
true.
well.
It does not look like this team is going to finish, unfortunately. They still have a few minutes left.
Yeah. Going to have to see what they can pull out. Hopefully they can nail these last few shots to get the ladder down. There we go. So we've hit one.
I think that's the second one. They just need one more to complete
There we
the
go.
ladder.
Seems that they've hit everything.
So there's our archery team.
That
Leader,
was some
archery team leader.
good shooting as well. So where's the...
I don't know, this team seems a bit Discord at this moment.
as well?
I'm not sure if they have run away at this moment. How much time do they have left? Do we know?
We will find out from the production team very shortly what the time frame is for the Ocelots to finish this map. It seems that their time is up.
Unfortunately,
The Ocelots have maxed out their time.
they have had a very good
in
run.
2 minutes. In 2 minutes, they would have maxed their time
Oh, there's still 2 minutes left. Okay.
as well. It doesn't seem like they've hit the first target properly, though.
I just missed it.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of the team? I think they.
I don't
got
know.
lost.
I think they might have
Having a
gone
hard
lost
time.
going down to try and.
Well,
figure
this
out
this
what
is
needs
proving to
happen.
be quite a difficult map, regardless of. Well, the first team actually doing exceptionally good at it.
Yeah.
They were doing really
I
well.
mean, the Wizards were exceptional in their.
Yeah,
first
I think they saw the challenge, they understood what needed to be done, and they got it and just did it. I think that's awesome. It's a really strong team. We could see that from the start. They really, pulled their weight. They had good times. In the first rounds, they had good parkour skills. They did really well in the maze from the Egyptian dunes as well.
Yeah. It seems like the Ocelots are still trying to try and get this.
To get the targets, that's quite interesting.
Yeah. I think they might be running out of time with the arrows staying alive in the target.
Yeah, that is true. They
To
need to
hit,
hit
because
all
it
3
seems
targets.
like the arrows themselves are vanishing
They do vanish.
as well. Seems like the Ocelots has run out of time.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. They had a good run.
They had a fantastic run in this
Yeah.
tournament. as well.
We're definitely looking forward to see them in the next eSports. It's a very strong team. I just think they made a couple of small errors. There was a bit of a communication mishap here and there. I think that just costed them it at the end of the day.
Yeah, when they did the separation of the team members, I don't think that did them any justice at all.
Yeah, it really does help,
Yeah.
and we can see that through all the challenges. It really comes down to sticking together as a team and properly communicating.
As well. So now we know for sure we have a finalist.
We do.
The
We do have
Wizards.
a finalist.
The Wizards. So the last semi-final is going to be big.
It's gonna
It's
be
the
huge.
gamer levels versus the winning Wizards.
I'm sweating. I don't know about you.
As
I really am sweating. Like that was quite intense. Unfortunately for the Axolots, better luck next time. Definitely. But still, I think if they had a massive round of applause, they really did well up until the semi-finals. It was really
Yeah.
well.
And I think the finals is going to be very intense because then both of the finalist teams would have some idea for what's going on in this map. So
It's going to be
the
a
pace
very,
that they are going to run at is
fast run.
going to be exceptionally close
it's going to be a close one.
as well. So I'm excited to see that coming through. I think the gamer levels up against the winning Wizards is going to be very, very tight.
Yeah, we saw a really strong run just now with the gamer levels doing an exceptional time on the dunes.
And I mean, the winning Wizards still, well, they are the fastest team out of your group stages.
They are yeah.
Sitting at a 2-minute 20-second
for the first. Yeah, that's correct.
For your group stages. So at this point in time, it comes down to which team can move through the world the most accurately
And effectively. Yeah.
and effectively
Sure. This is interesting.
as possible.
We should do this more often. I'm really enjoying this. It's very cool.
We'll definitely be having more of these tournaments
we should.
running through, and with the same teams, because it is a competition that they have put forward here. It has not been a dull Saturday gaming day
Not at all.
whatsoever.
Not at all. It definitely. And I hope it's been as exciting for the parents and friends supporting all of the players today as well.
And for all of our participants and viewers on the live stream as well, that it's been as exciting for you guys as what it has been for us.
Sure, for sure.
As well, because I haven't had a dull moment yet.
No,
And,
definitely not.
If it was dull, I wouldn't have survived without coffee.
That is very true. I'm actually doing surprisingly well. I've got no idea how I'm doing this, but I think it is the excitement.
Yeah,
The
it's
focus.
it's the closeness of the games
Yeah,
that's actually running through.
and it's only getting more intense closer to the end.
Very much so. So we do have confirmation that they are busy loading the new teams. The final semi-finals onto the world, and that the students will be ready to go anytime soon. So the moment that is ready, we will jump directly
into it. Yeah.
and see how this run goes between these two teams. The one team that has been in the live stream funnel the whole way through, and the other which hasn't. And gamer level has come in as a team out of the blue.
They really have. They've made a
Completely.
powerful push close to the end. It might just pay off. It might just pay off. I mean, like I said before, it's any man's game. As you've seen, the teams they just whip out their skills in a random challenge and they pull the win as unexpectedly as it can be. So, sure, I've actually got no idea.
Who I would pick between them?
Who you pick between them? Like, I
I don't know. The winning Wizards might have an advantage in places like the maze because of how quick they can get their team to move. But I think the gaming levels didn't do too bad with solving the puzzle problems
They are really
and
good
stuff
at
like that. So at this point in time, it's very 50-50.
Yeah, it's difficult because they both like they moved through the dunes. They really did. Like didn't have any major issues with the dunes. So they had parkour, which they demolished. They had the maze, which they both pretty much demolished. And the puzzles they didn't actually struggle as well.
With at all.
I think it's different, without a doubt. Arguably the strongest teams we've got here. Really, well, it goes to show. I mean, they are in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
So,
but this day feels like it's just flown right past.
yeah.
I did not expect those group stages to go as quickly as what they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, most of the runs were more than half the time they were allocated to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is impressive. And still, the completion of these, the Egyptian dunes and the Nordic raids so far is under time.
Everyone's been at time so far.
Everybody's been under time.
That's brilliant. We didn't expect to see that for sure.
Not at all.
Again, I would be absolutely terrible at that, but we should totally try it.
No, I'm going to make a request for the Worlds so that I can go home later and try and
we
run
challenge
them
our whole team, the whole company. We'll do
Ah.
a nice
We do an
inter-company...
inter-house
Yes, eSports tournament.
I think it'll work. And time ourselves against what the students have been able to put it there.
Do you want to go against the student times?
Well, not against the students, against the times that they've put
Oh,
out.
okay. So...
I would rather lose without the students knowing
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
For protection of pride, you understand?
They're putting us to shame. For sure.
Well, I mean, they already underscored everything thus far.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of time, so I am a bit hesitant to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's their game.
And they are the experts.
They are
at
the
end
experts, absolutely.
of the day
The masters.
as well.
Yeah.
Of it all. So yeah, we are coming up very soon to loading the students into the new world.
They're busy being
As
moved
well.
to the spawn, to the starting area.
And then from there, they will navigate their way into the challenges.
Yeah. I can't sit still anymore. Like I have to, see this happen.
Ants in your pants at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm very, very,
But
very keen to see what's going to happen now, and especially the finals.
it feels like a rugby game. You can't if a team does something extraordinary or finishes, you want to kind of jump up and just go. Yeah.
No.
Ecstatic. But
we've got another quick panoramic shot of the Viking world village island.
It looks great, I must say. A lot of detail. I mean, look at that. It's kind of breathtaking. Okay, it's not the most graphic intensive game out there. It's not a AAA title per
But
se.
I think that's what makes it special when you have people that focus on the small details.
The details.
Making a giant Anubis statue or a giant Zeus statue out of square blocks.
Very impressive.
Very impressive to get that right.
It's a certain set of skill.
To be honest. And it's I love the fact that the challenges are actually running through the inside of the mountain.
Yeah,
as well, and that it ends with them at the top.
At the very top.
As
So
well.
they actually work their way up.
Yeah.
To the very top.
Well, and we've got a full-fledged what looks like a mead hall.
Oh, look at that. That looks cozy.
Looks like a mead hall as well.
I bet they say skull inside there quite often, as the Vikings do.
As the Vikings do.
For sure.
Hopefully these worlds will become very useful to the students.
I think they're going to enjoy it
forward
afterwards
as
as well. Yeah, no, for sure. They're going to enjoy it.
And letting them run through it. I'd also be interested to see what if we had given them the capabilities to change the challenges, what they would do with them.
They would do it differently, for sure. I think they would definitely make the parkour a bit easier. No, but I think it's good to practice on, like absolutely. Like from what I've been seeing, the parkour challenges are difficult but really stretches their capability. So practicing on that parkour challenge might be beneficial at the end of the day.
No, I mean it's better to always practice on something that's more difficult than easier.
Of course,
You know,
that's exactly
to
it.
actually get them.
Here you've
Through.
got the redstone
And
at the top
we've
again.
got the redstone right
Just a
through
little
it
bit
all.
of engineering there.
Engineering there. Yeah. Do you have any clue what is going on with that redstone?
I've seen redstone before. It looks quite intricate, to say the least.
I can say that I have tried and failed. I have.
It's difficult. I've built some basic contraptions, but it gets. I wouldn't be able to build a calculator. That's for sure.
No.
That's very, very intense.
And I also saw that they were able to build a full functioning PC.
A full functioning PC.
A full functioning PC. Like your old Atari.
I would love to see the amount of redstone that went into that.
It's huge.
Huge.
It's
Wow.
absolutely massive.
Sure.
That's running through there.
That's incredible.
But again, I mean, there's no limit to what you can create.
So that redstone that we saw there, it obviously opens door or something on the inside, or activates a trap or something.
So we are getting ready to do the transfer over into the world with the students.
Very
Just
close.
a last final check from the production team before we do so as well.
Winning Wizards versus Gamer Level. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be tight. I hope they're ready. I hope they are warmed up by now just to absolutely run through this challenge. We might even see better times than we've just saw.
I've got a feeling this is going to be a fairly quick go.
You think so?
I don't know why. I've got a.
Well, the Winning Wizards haven't disappointed yet.
With speed.
For speed, for sure. I think they're going to do great.
Not at all. I'd be interested to see what the gamer levels do, because they've done very well with challenges, but they haven't necessarily been the fastest team either.
That is true.
So need to see how they adapt to that as well.
Yeah, as we've seen, speed is not always the best option. But yeah, they do need to think about time all the time.
Pun intended.
Oh, it was intended.
So we are now going to move over into the world and watch as the Winning Wizards versus the gamer level.
And they're off.
They're out.
They are
And
into the
there
first
we go.
challenge.
And immediately they start with an absolute sprint from the Winning Wizards as well.
Looks like the first button has been pressed.
Yes. And now it's the movement towards the next.
They're going to have to figure out which buttons to press in order to open those doors.
100%. Now I've got the gamer level that's busy moving their way. They seem to have missed a button.
And they have definitely missed a button. They're going to have to figure out which one it was rather quickly if they want to have a good time on this map.
Yeah, I think it makes it more difficult having to do the parkour between the buttons as well. Makes you have to decide a bit better.
I think they are on the way for the
do.
last button, and they've opened the door successfully. They
So
can
gamer level
continue.
is through
Perfect. Look at that.
as well.
And in good time. It wasn't too bad.
Here they get to face the maze again.
Face the first maze. Yes.
Face the first maze again.
Brilliant. So it's quite interesting that
Which way that they're moving.
yeah,
But gamer level,
and they actually
is
follow
moving
one another
fast.
to keep in formation.
Yeah.
It seems
well, for most part of it, they
For the
have
most part.
lost 2 members.
they have somewhere.
They have lost 2 members
And they've
of
made
their
through.
team.
Gamer Liver is going on to the next. Look at that. Alright, Winning Wizards are now going into the first maze. Let's hope
They
they
are
can
going
catch
to
up.
have to make some speed and haste with this.
They're definitely going to have to make the right decisions now. Seems like Gamer Level is still faced with a difficult decision. Which lever
one
to pull?
is it?
Are they going to go for it?
And they have selected the wrong
Answer, unfortunately.
The wrong answer.
They're going to have to fight their way through this maze with spawning zombies. Luckily, there are swords readily available for them, so they won't have a problem.
It doesn't make it any easier.
It does not. You don't know where the
in terms
zombies
of wasting your time.
That is true.
With the whole thing. So the gamer level is going to have to start very soon dealing with some of the mobs that's coming through as well.
Oh, they faced a zombie right over there, making quick work of that kill. Brilliant. They have to still navigate their way through.
Work that's going through, but they are getting hurt
quite a bit. They're gonna have to kill that zombie. There we go. Perfect. And now they still have to go through the maze as well. We have winning wizards already at the final stage, it seems, which is the archery challenge. Let's see how quickly they can pull this off.
Get this out.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna have to really go at it.
The winning wizards must have gotten the answer correct with.
They definitely did get the answer correct. Yes.
To move it through. See, they're just missing their shots.
They're just missing the shots. They're gonna have to focus a bit more on that accuracy in order to hit the targets.
Or bring someone on that isn't.
Oh yeah. Do we
station.
have a front runner with the combat?
I don't know.
Let's have a look. Gamer Level is also currently busy with the archery challenge.
Oh, and we've got one.
We've got all 14 members of the Wizards now. They've got 2 of the 3.
They seem to be shooting at the same top one.
They're gonna have to shoot all 3 targets in order for them to progress. It's interesting, none of these things are explained. They have to figure it out as they go. So it's quick thinking the whole time.
As you move. But they've been doing so well with
They
adapting
really
to it. I mean, there were no second questions asked or any like delay between seeing the bow and arrow and the target. They immediately started firing away.
That is true. They do not seem...
they are missing the lower right
one.
one.
They're not hitting the lower right one. They're going to have to hit that target if they want to progress. Someone has been shooting for it. Let's see if they can get it.
There we go. They have hit it.
Gamer Level seem to have opened the ladder to the top, and it seems like they are going for the win. They are taking that final slot. Unbelievable. Gamer Level has won the challenge.
So Gamer Level has won in 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
That's a pretty good time as well.
That is a pretty good time, and that ends the final semi-finals. That ends the semi-finals period for it.
Yeah, for sure.
As well. So now we have the Gamer Level and the Wizards.
Look at that.
In your finals.
This is going to be an interesting match.
It's going to be a big playoff as well. This was a fantastic run.
It really has.
The Gamer Level did do very well, considering that they've gone and struggled through the mob maze.
It looks like the Wizards are still struggling. Apparently they have been disqualified from the challenge for trying to break through a wall. So unfortunately their time will not count for them.
Okay. Well, regardless of that fact, the Game Levels did take the victory as well.
And the winning Wizards had a really good run. They actually did exceptionally well. I'm very happy with that.
Okay.
It's been a strong run for them, I must say. I did think they were going to be one of the teams in the final. seeing them make it all the way to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
It's expected. It was a really good run from them.
Well, I think that is a brilliant run through. I do know that we are going to take a 5 minute recess coming up before loading into the finals
Yes, that's correct.
as well. So we will see you guys shortly and looking very much forward to the finals
The
and
finals.
seeing who takes the top run. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you guys shortly. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us again. We are going on to the finals now.
Exciting.
Very excited to see what is going to happen between the Wizards and Gamer Level. Before we jump directly into that, we can announce who took the third place. Because both of the teams that didn't make it past the semi-finals got stuck right at the end, they didn't meet it within the time requirements. It is a joint third place. There was no DQ for the winning Wizards because the game had actually, or the round had been
Already
completed already as a result of Gamer Level completing the round. So there will be a joint third place between the winning Wizards and the Oxalots.
Oxalots. There we
And
go.
the Oxalots. So yeah, and now we can have a look-see at who is going to be the overall winner. We've got the Wizards versus Gamer Level.
It all comes down to this. This is where it
down
comes
to this. The whole day's gaming throughout and running through all of these challenges by these fantastic participants from the group stages through to now leads to who sits at the top as well. It has been an absolutely fantastic
It's been great.
tournament.
I mean, we've seen just incredible teams being formed from all the different schools. It's been such a privilege to see all of them compete. The skins, the spirit that they've had throughout the challenge. All of them were enthusiastic about it. They really just put their heart into these eSports, challenges, and it's such a wonderful thing to see. So for all the participants, just from our side, I guess it's been really brilliant.
It's been a pleasure to watch people run through these tournaments, and I mean it's only built so much excitement, not just for the finals, but what we'll be able to see in the future with all of these team members again. So we are busy loading the finalists into
teams,
the final world as well. The final world will be taking place in the Nordic Raids map as well. Again,
this time around, our questions are being randomized as well. The mazes do change a bit, so it is a different challenge this time. It's going to be the exact same structure, but let's see what the teams have to bring. Yeah.
And we'll be moving very quickly into the finals.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Be jumping in with
Can't
the students. Any second now. Here we go. And we are go for the finals of the 2021 Minecraft eSports competition.
This is a stressful one. I think the players are feeling it. They have to stay focused. At the same time, they absolutely have to rush through these worlds.
And I want to see what the final time is going to be, because they've gotten somewhat used to at least the general layout of the world as well. I mean, we can see the gamer levels already immediately trying to do the doors as well.
The Wizards actually
have
rushed through
already
it.
blazed through that first
Absolutely
move
crushed
as
it.
well.
Absolutely crushed it.
And they are moving at a steady pace
They are really going at
through
it.
the final
The first Wizard
world.
almost made it through.
But you can see there's the communication.
he's
The
coming
wizard
back
turned
to his
around to
team.
collect his team
member.
members, which is absolutely
That's
fantastic.
brilliant.
And we've got gamer level that is immediately in the running as well, just behind the wizards at the moment.
This is going to be a tight
And
one.
the wizards have selected
The wrong answer again. They're going to have to navigate through the maze with the
mobs
zombies.
as well.
That's going to be interesting.
Going to have to see how they manage to work through this.
With good combat skills, they can potentially fly through this map as well. As we are clearly seeing now, we do have a player. The wizard's actually just flying through this maze.
The only thing that you have to take into account when you're looking at that is if they possibly take health damage, which would ultimately slow them down. I know we discussed this earlier in the Egyptian dunes
where it was a big factor. We do have the wizards already through that maze, heading up towards the archery. This is where it comes down to the final moments. It's going to be a close one.
And they are busy
Going
firing
They've only got
away.
3 targets to shoot. They've got the first
They've
one.
got the first one.
They've got the second one. Let's go for the third one. They've got the third target, and they can actually progress up towards the ending.
As well. And there we go.
The team is
We
heading
have
straight
the
to the
Wizards heading for the
They
finals,
are going out.
and they absolutely blazed through this
was
map.
What an amazing run! What an amazing run!
This
They
was
knew
fantastic.
What to do?
The Wizards living up to their victory. 2
Wow.
minutes and 46 seconds.
What an incredible
that is
time!
a heck of a time.
And they take the
as
overall esports victory.
But the gamers,
Well done.
gamers level aren't doing bad either. They are right at the bottom, actually taking part in the
archery.
archery already.
Yeah, they're right on their tails.
As well. They're already firing away at the archery, and hopefully they'd be able to get it up as well. Obviously, we now know who has taken the victory and who will be second place.
They have secured their second place, of course. Moving into the finals. This is also just like
2
a second
minutes and
place
46
victory lap.
seconds to finally run through this. I mean, in comparison to what it took them their first run
Definitely.
through this as well.
But like I said, they've seen it. They knew what was at stake, and they just went for it. They just winged it. It was such a cool thing to see.
But I love the choice that they made. They didn't want to waste time with figuring out which maze to select, the easiest one or the one with the mobs.
They just
They
bashed
knew
it.
that they could take the ones with the mobs
They knew it for sure.
comfortably, and that was the move that they took it. So we officially have our first winner for
First
our
winner for the
Minecraft
eSports.
eSports tournament.
I'm so psyched. Well done to the Wizards.
And
Honestly,
this was fantastic. A
Yeah.
brilliant victory overall. And you can see
They are doing a victory run.
the celebratory chucking of the arrows.
The arrows, yeah. A massive round of applause to the Wizards. For the gamers being a runner-up, absolutely. They did an excellent run. It was in good time. But just in general, for all the teams, they really did brilliantly today.
It was an absolute pleasure to have been able to sit and watch them run
Sure.
through these worlds, and it was phenomenal. phenomenal
I really did enjoy that.
at the
For
end
sure.
of it all as well. So
Sure.
we now have the official listings of who has taken what position as well. So in third place for the esports tournament is a tied place of the winning Wizards and
The
the
Axolots.
Axolots.
Yes.
In second place, we have the Game Levels with a 4-minute clock on that world, which is also
Very
extremely
impressive.
fast
Very impressive.
as well. And then we have the Wizards that have
took the
taken
win.
the victory
Ah,
at a
that's
2
such a
minutes
brilliant.
and
Look at
46
that.
second time clock. It was a massive mammoth of a run that they had
For
given
sure.
through
And a
as well.
well earned reward, I'm sure.
So with that, we obviously have the prizes that need to be given out. These prizes will be delivered to the relevant schools from which the teams come from in the first week of the new year, considering the closure of schools at this point in time at the end of the year, and also so that nothing gets really lost in transit, if we can call it that. So the prizes will go out. All members that have participated in the online esports tournament will receive custom stickers for Minecraft, as well as an additional surprise that will come through that we have ordered quite late minute, but we thought it would be a nice add-on for it also. Your third place players will get custom mouse pads, full desk mouse pads for their placements, as well as the custom stickers and the surprise gift. Your second place team, the gamer level, will take a custom mouse pad, a custom snapback cap, as well as the stickers and the surprise gift that will be sent with. And then finally, our victors, the Wizards, will get custom Minecraft hoodies, custom snapback caps, custom mouse pads, as well as the stickers and the surprise gift that will come through. They take every piece through to themselves. We will also be delivering a custom made Minecraft trophy through to the winning schools in the first week of the new year. And with that, we want to give a massive thank you to all of the players that have joined, the coaches that have helped organize these amazing team members to partake today for a absolute phenomenal performance.
Absolutely.
Across the board.
I do agree. Massive thank you to everyone, even the viewers at home. Thanks for joining in to the stream. I hope you guys had fun as we did. Seeing these teams pour their hearts out into these challenges was really such a privilege. And also just a massive thank you to a brilliant production team behind our casting appearances.
We would never have been able to make this tournament what it is without our full team. And with that, we give everybody a massive thank you, and also a massive thank you to all the viewers that have watched today, the parents, the stakeholders, anybody that's associated to either the team members or the schools that have come aboard to watch. A massive thank you for joining in. We do have a final message before we close off today's tournament stream, and that is directly from Ivor School, who was the hosting school for this tournament as well.
Hello everyone, it's Ali, and thank you guys for so much for joining the Minecraft tournament. Hope you had an amazing time, and big thanks to all the schools that participated. And the players played so well, and hopefully there will be another tournament where all of you guys get to watch us play again. And thanks so much guys for coming, and have an amazing day further. Thanks.